Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? The New York Knicks, I see you in the building. What's good? What's good? Let me check something right here. You know, I gotta check something check a little something. Let me check something. Just want to make sure I'm broadcasting it in the right places. Just gonna check something out real quick. All right. All right. So I see the coffee cup. I see the coffee cup, and I see we are live. So that's dope. So I see that's dope. Let me check. Well, I'll check Sportscaster, man, later. What's good, everybody? What's good? We in the building. What's good? Get your energy levels up. Get up. Beans Douglas, what's good? What's good? Let me do my thing here. I'm gonna put my thing in the invitation in the chat. Put the link in the chat. What's good? Get that energy level up. I see y'all. Don't know still. What's good? Beans, what's good? So we got a game tomorrow. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. So I don't have a specific thing I wanted to talk about, man, because we had a lot of stuff. Man, the Knicks at Night podcast is off the chain, man. Hey, and shout out to my man, my ace. Yo, Drip Moore's in the building. What's good? What's good? Hey, salute to Delano Still. Salute. Hey, and shout out to my man, Stephen Fox. Man, Foxy has been excellent at night, man. Frederick, what's good? What's good? Yo, shout out to my man, to my ace, Stephen Fox, man. We've been trying to work on some stuff, man. Hey, man. Hey, my guy has been grinding behind the scenes relentlessly. Fellas! What's goody? What's good?
What up?
Hey man. I'm hyped, man. I got on here out, man. I worked third shift. I got off, man, and got me a little snack. I was sitting on the chair. I was like, man, I don't know, dog. I don't know. I need to get me a you know what I'm saying, I might need to mail this one in. And then as soon as I got on, before I even got on, I'm a man, the New York Knicks was hitting me up on Instagram. I was like, yo, I got to do this, yo. I got to come through for my peoples, man. I'll be excited to see y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for real.
Hey, quick question. What's your thoughts on the city jerseys?
The city jerseys?
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw the black one. I don't know about. Is there an alternate?
No, that's it. Just the black ones. Yeah. I don't think you ever talked about it. So I just wanted to, ask your opinion on it.
Hey, man. Hey, so with me, when it come to fashion, you know what I'm saying, of any type, right? I think the accessories, what you put on with it, really set it off. You know what I'm saying? So I like the city jersey, right? I like the city jersey, but I think everything else that go with it got to be fly too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just me. I like it. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like everybody gonna have their own opinion. I like it. So what's your opinion on it?
Well, when I first seen it, as far as just the jersey, I wasn't really thrilled. I wasn't sold on it. When I saw it
Right.
on RJ when he was doing the promo run with the jersey on, I could actually see
Right.
it filled out, and that's when I was like, okay, now I can see it, and I like it. Based off
Now,
of that, I'll be honest, I can't wait to see it as a snapback because
right.
that's really more my thing. I'm not really into the jerseys anymore.
Right.
Um, but as a snapback, that would be so fire.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. I'll be honest, this has not been the year for city. This has been like the ugly city jersey year or something like that. Like 2020 is capped off
Right.
with the ugly city jersey. As
Did
far as
you
I'm
did you see the Phoenix ones, the Valley?
oh trash.
You're right.
Y'all not feeling the new jerseys? The
Talking
black
about the
joints?
city?
No,
Yeah, the
the
black joints.
the Knicks City one is fine.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you like my favorite ones are the Knicks City ones. I like the Dallas white and gold one. Like that one is a different look, so I like that one.
Right.
Um, and I like the Orlando. The like it paying homage to the old school with the what I'm saying, the stripes and the star.
Right.
I kind of wish they just stick with the original colorway, the racer blue, the electric blue. But
Right.
I could rock with it. You know what I mean? But everything else, especially the next one, like the next one looked like this Crayola. I
Right.
get that they trying to pay tribute to Basquiat and respect to that, but at the same time,
Right.
like y'all couldn't find a better way to do that because that was like, it really felt like a kindergartner did that.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. I can see that. My man CK2K had an idea, right? And shout out to Chris, man, for doing the dope content.
Yeah,
Me and him a long time, maybe about 3 years ago, man. Me and him had a conversation. We was doing like a basketball league or whatever, and me and him had a conversation, man. That's a really sharp kid, man. I kind of like him, man. He be grinding, but he said take the Spreewell era jersey, Spreewell in Houston, and instead of the blue, just change it all black. Just take all the blue off and put
yeah. I
black.
said that before. I said
Fire.
well, actually, you know what I said?
Yeah.
I said alternate would be to make the black background, but the stripe on the side, I
Right.
change that to blue and have the orange
Oh,
border
really?
still. So I flip the
Really?
colors. Yeah, that was
Okay.
what I initially said the same thing to him. And I'll be honest, I've been saying that for years. I said I really wish they would do a black alternate jersey
Right.
where the the away jersey, if you just take the black background instead of the blue background, you
Right.
know what I mean? Keep everything else the same, the orange and
That
blue
would be
border is
dope.
the same, but just flip that you know what I'm saying, the black background to a solid black.
Right.
I think that'd be fire.
Yeah, I think so. I think I might be with you on that. I think
They should
so.
start doing a fan vote or something for these jerseys, man. Because sometimes they just give us whatever we want, and we still buy them and sell them out. Like it's
They just give. I think they just give us whatever they want. They don't give us whatever we want.
yeah,
Right.
nah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Yeah. Because some of the jerseys you be like, some of the stuff you barely notice there's a change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. So I mean, but I mean,
We got this game coming up, man. Wednesday. Tomorrow, right? Today Tuesday, right?
yeah.
What up, man? What we thinking, man? What we thinking, man?
Beans, don't be getting me hype, man. Beans, don't be getting me hype. You know I get hype easy, man. I can't help it. You know what I'm saying? Beans be getting me hype. I can't help it, man.
Yeah, man. I think it, man.
To combat what RJ Barrett brings to the table because that's a 6'7" shooting guard, and if you play Darius Garland and Colin Sexton at the two, you know what I mean? Like that should be a field day for RJ. You're gonna have to switch like a Coro on them, but then that leaves Alec Burks open. So it's like you have an opportunity to really go in there and kind of impose your will on Cleveland if you do it right.
You know what?
Kevin Love is a shooter, but I think that if you could, honestly, if you could just stay with, like, I think Julius, for me, the problem I have with Julius Randle is that you allow easy buckets. For instance, you saw game 2. Blake Griffin cuts to the lane. You could have stopped. You could have stepped into the lane just to make it hard. You know what I mean? If you end up getting a blocking foul, I can live with that. But at least make an attempt to make a defensive play. You know what I'm saying? You sidestep even further out of the play for him to get an easy bucket.
Yeah.
That's like, come on, like you could do a little something. I'm not asking you to block a shot or nothing, but at least make it harder on the defense.
At least contest it. You know what I'm saying? Show some effort. Because at the end of the day, all the young guys is watching you, believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? So that energy that you putting out there, they looking like he ain't got to do it. So why should we have to? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like last night, I kind of peeked in on the Cleveland game because I knew we had them coming up. So I watched them last night a little bit because Dotson over there.
Yeah,
Dotson in Cleveland. They had him like he was doing this thing last night, man. Like that shit just had me wondering, like, damn, we never gave him a fair shake. Like I feel like the good players we be having that we could use as pieces and all that, like we never really give them a good shake, man. No. And I feel like the same thing gonna happen to Frank or Kevin Knox. Like one of them is out of here. I just don't know which one yet, but one of them is out of here.
It'll probably be Knox. I think that with Frankie's seen some progression. You've seen games where he's done the right things, the right intangibles, where it's either a defensive stop, like what he did against Westbrook against the Rockets when we won off of RJ Barrett's game-winning bucket. He's the Frank is the one that stopped RJ from Westbrook from scoring. Then you look at the 20-10 game he had against Cleveland. Go figure. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just looking at things like that, and Knox really hasn't performed. He's so off and on. There's no real reason. Like with Frank, at least you can say, well, he's been battling with the groin injuries. Every time it seems like he gets going, something else prevents him from getting on court and actually, capitalizing off of that. With Knox, it's like you'll have a game where you're active. You're not even necessarily looking at scoring, but you're active. Like, again, preseason game. First game of preseason, he was active. The second game was like, where are you?
Yeah.
And how many games are you going to have with that kind of inconsistency and expect to really be looked at as the future? Because development, again, and I always tell everybody this, at some point, all that potential gotta lead to production. You can't keep on. Well, he got the potential to be something, and you're not producing.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I was peeping them last night, and they got a nice little stable of talent too when it comes to young talent, and they got like a couple veterans. Like the only old guys they got over there still is like Love and Drummond. But they got a lot of young pieces, too, that look hungry. So we can't sleep on them. Every game we got to take like we got to win. And I think Tom is trying to like instill that in them. You know what I'm saying? It was really hard to tell on the second game. But I think the third game coming up tomorrow, I think we're going to be back to more on the defensive end how we was looking in the first game, hopefully.
Right. Yeah. So that's my thing. That's my thing with the Knicks over the past 5, 6, 7 years is like in this game of cat and mouse. We can't do that. We can't play cat and mouse, man. The reason why the cat play with the mouse is because the cat always know he physically superior to the mouse. You know what I'm saying? So he toy with it. You know what I'm saying? He toy with it to get kicks out. We can't do that. Who are we? We ain't nobody. Yo, we got to come out hungry and got to put it on cats. We got to play all 4 quarters, all 48 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Of every game, of every season. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have a cat like a James Harden where we can look at a storyline. Well, maybe James Harden will go off for 60 this game if he feel up to it. We don't have cats like that.
Not the luxury. We ain't got the luxury.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like we legit in game 1 against Detroit, we was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? We didn't need to score 110 because we held Detroit to 84, right? And then we come out the next game and score only 91, and we give up 99, and it's like everybody like, oh my God, where we gonna get offense from? Yo, you can't like be flipping you got to give it everything you got in every game you play, regardless of who the opponent is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's crazy because I just happened to peek at the Milwaukee game too. And I seen our boy Bobby Portis over there. And he looking the hype. I ain't gonna hold you up. Right. Bobby Portis is a good fit on that Milwaukee team, man. Right. Backing Giannis up, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that just brings up this thing I was thinking about. I was just thinking about this when you was talking. Remember when we first got Fizdale? And he was like, yeah, we're going to bring this back to the Mecca. And then when people come to this building, they're going to be scared. And they're going to know the Knicks is here to play and this and that. Right. And then when everybody used to come to MSG, it's like they get their career high. Like now they show out. Like that's when all these new point guards from last year get known from coming to MSG, dropping their career high and all that type of stuff. And I think I hope we can get back to that where, listen, at least when you come to New York, you know what it is. You got to go through the gauntlet because you got to come here and then you got to go to Brooklyn. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to get back to that where it's respectable. Because now people coming to the Garden like, yo, we about to get busy. Like, this is what it is. No fans, whatever. MSG going to be MSG.
Right. Hey, and then the thing.
Go ahead.
Oh, what I was gonna say is twofold. Let me do this real quick. S. Martinez, what's good? Wacko Knicks fanatic, I see you. Payback Carter is in the building. You know what, T. Williams? I ain't even gonna shout you out, T. Williams. You know why? Because you be hitting me with these hard questions early in the morning. You legit think that'd be funny. Like I think you be up doing your homework and then be coming to the next morning job trying to embarrass somebody on national TV. No, I'm just bugging, man. I'm just bugging. Hey, T. Williams, what's good? CH, what's good? I see y'all. Man, y'all be having me hype in the morning, man. But B's point is valid. I just want to add something to that. Right? So coming to the Garden used to be, I mean, we are one of two things right now. We are legit the place where borderline suspect cats come to get their rocks off, or superstars come here to play a quarter and a half and rest up for Boston. You know what I'm saying? They legit come and put up like 24 and like by halftime, and then they got their warm-ups for the rest of the game. You know what I'm saying? They're going to sleep through New York, Brooklyn, and then try to, you know what I'm saying, be rested up for Boston. I don't like that. You're going to respect me, dog. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's just what it is. Like when you come, you going to come here correct. You know what I'm saying? And I think what happened is our mentality has been, I ain't going to say soft, but we've been mighty laid back. Like these young cats, these cats that we have here, they don't understand what the Garden was like, you know what I'm saying, back in the day. They wasn't even born when the Garden was rocking. You know what I'm saying? So they have no idea how, like when they see Uncle Freezy legit grinding, you know, 2 times a day, trying to put out 2 times a day for his people because we trying to recapture that feeling. They have no idea what I'm talking about. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They have no idea what that feeling is. They have no idea of that feeling of the Knicks battling it out with the Bulls, and at the end of the game, Starks running pick and roll and yam on Jordan and Horace Grant. They don't know that feeling like me about to jump through the ceiling when I saw that. You know what I'm saying? All they know is they got their Fly Puma deal. You know what I'm saying? They got that $7 million. You know what I'm saying? They in the city. You know what I'm saying? These IG chicks be trying to holler at them. You know what I'm saying? I don't care nothing about that, dog. I want to win. You know what I'm saying?
I got a legitimate question for you, Freeze. I know it might be a little too early, man, but you got to think about it, man. It's 10 spots now on the East, man. Do you think we can get to that 10th spot, man? Talk to me, man.
Hey, I my personal thing is I think it's in the bag, right? I think 10, 9, 8 is in the bag for us, right? But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Y'all gotta trust Obi, Randle, and RJ. Y'all gotta trust them. Y'all gotta trust that they're gonna develop a chemistry of these three cats together. You gotta trust that, right? Mm-hmm. And the reason why I say that is because the vets coming in, they looking all good. Alec Burks, Nerlens Noel, you know what I'm saying, Austin Rivers. But what people don't know is these cats, most of the vets we signed, they played in the bubble. They still fresh. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got no rust on them. So they gonna look better than cats that ain't played in 9 months. You know what I'm saying? All these dudes, they coming in, they got these playoff experience, you know what I'm saying? They only been off for like, you know what I'm saying, 5-6 weeks or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they coming in, they good, they looking good. Our kids is rusty and they young and they learning, right? So you got to trust them, you know what I'm saying, through December and through January. We can't give up on these kids. We gotta let these kids play. You know what I'm saying? Because Obi looked like he gonna be a walking bucket, right? RJ is a walking bucket. Randle at 20 and 10, we devalue Randle because he make mistakes, right? Instead of embracing him like our own, we like, yo, if anybody in the chat got teenagers, right? You know what I'm saying? Some days they make you so proud. You be like, yo, that's my man right there. You know what I'm saying? And then other days you like, yo, what the hell wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? But you got to keep them. You got to keep them regardless, because them your people. You know what I'm saying? We can't just throw Randle is like I heard like last night, leading to the next podcast, and I ain't shading him because that's my man. But we talking about Randle, right? And somebody said, it was yesterday, Knicks won job yesterday. Somebody was like, yo, Randle's 18 and 10 is empty. Yo, first of all, Randle averaged 19 and a half. Why are you devaluing him? He averaged 9, almost 10 rebounds.
That's a dub.
And the coaching was terrible. The roster was terrible. And y'all know we didn't have a point guard last year. My man still averaged 20 and 10. Come on, though. You got to give my man credit. My man legit, when cats like Jeff Teague is like, nah, New York, you can keep your money. Julius Randle came here. You know what I'm saying? When Rondo like, man, I already got 2 rings, man. Y'all can keep that New York drama. You like Randle? I mean, Rondo turning us down? God, I mean, come on. Randle took that bread and he came here and did 20 and 10, and we want to devalue him. You know what I'm saying? We got to trust the fact that if we think Tibbs and the coaching staff is gonna make everybody better, that includes everybody. You know what I'm saying? If we think he's gonna make Knox, RJ, Obi, all them cats better, we gotta believe he's gonna make Randle better too. You know what I'm saying? And if that's the case, if RJ just keep doing his thing, you know what I'm saying? Obi just be Obi. He ain't gotta be fantastic. He just got to be the rookie that we believe we drafted. You know what I'm saying? Just say Obi is 14 points and 6 rebounds, right? That sounds low, right? But yo, that's year 1, coming off a pandemic with no real practice, none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? 8, 9, 10. I think that's in the bag, for one, because we got Thibodeau, and for 2, we got talent. You know what I'm saying? We just got trusted. These veterans coming in here looking better than our rookies because they've been playing longer. These dudes, Nerlens Noel played for Oklahoma City, right? With Chris Paul. Yeah. He was in the bubble. That's why he looked better than Mitch. People think he's better than Mitch. No, he just looked better than Mitch right now because Mitch been off for 9 months. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We got to legit keep stuff in perspective, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, 8, 9, or 10, regardless what it is, for us, getting in the playoffs is a major milestone for us.
See, that's what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking, like, at the end of the day, Randle done did enough to at least, like, at the end of the day, let him play his contract out. You know, we ain't got to pick up the option because we know that's an extra 20 mil we could use. Let's don't be stupid. But at least let him play his contract out unless something present itself by the trade deadline that we can't refuse. Because, you know, we always looking for talent. You know what I'm saying? So if we know at the end of the year we're not going to pick up his option, then he at least deserved to play out. Yo, listen, at the end of the day, we can let you, at the end of the year, we're not going to pick up your option, whatever. But if a contender wants you, we can send you there. You know what I mean? That's the least we can do. We can get you to a contender for the rest of the year, and you work it out for them. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yo, but what if he want to be here? What if he like, yo, what if he like, yo, this is the place that I want to be. I don't want to go nowhere else. I legit.
Obi. Then now you got to think about Obi.
Right.
Because now, all right, say they do, they be like, all right, cool, that's cool. We're going to pick you up for another 2 years. What do I do to Obi? That's going to stop his development. Because now he's still going to come off the bench. Because you ain't going to put him at the 3 and you ain't going to put him at the 5, still trying to develop.
No.
And RJ.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that would be a good idea. Like, I don't know.
What if you so the thing my thing with Randle is this. It's hard to find a cat in the NBA that's going to get you 20 and 10 at power forward that's not looking for a max. Right? So give you an example. John Collins in Atlanta, right? He 20 and 10, he want the max. You know what I'm saying? And Atlanta's like, oh, we want to kind of keep this money spread it out so we can be a contender. But cats legit in that age group that do 20 and 10 want that max bread. You know what I'm saying? And so the thing with Randle is, I'm not saying max Randle. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the opposite. What I'm saying is yo, let's invest not money right now. Let's invest training into this kid and see if we can max out his talent. Because clearly his talent is not maxed out. You know what I'm saying? Because every year this dude's been in the NBA, he's gotten better. And I'm talking about real leaps that you can see on paper. You know what I'm saying? I mean, every year the dude gets better. But the thing is, he never really been with a good coach. What happens if we can max out his talent with a good coach and a great coaching staff? You know what I'm saying? This dude done played for cats like Luke Walton, Alvin Gentry. You know what I'm saying? Cats like, what happens? And even more so than that, what happens when Julius Randle play with a real point guard? I mean, you got to kind of look at it. Now, if it's not meant for him to be here.
So remember, he played with Drew Holiday and Rondo and
Lonzo Ball.
Right.
And it was 2010.
And Lonzo Ball in LA.
Right. He wins behind it. So at the end of the day, it's not just about the stats. It's about how long does those stats continue to equate to losing. Because again, you still got a losing record. Your 20 and 10 doesn't actually make you any better. It doesn't move the needle. So at this point, that's why I keep saying, like, the development aspect of it, his effort on defense, things like that, those are intangibles. Again, you can't. How long are you going to let another person squeak by with an easy basket that you could have contested? How long can you sit there and say, okay, let me go to this spin move that continues to equate to a turnover, especially in key moments in games when you got a close game. You don't want the ball in his hand because, I don't know if he's going to turn that ball over, and we end up going from being down by 2 to being down by 6 off of that one move. You know what I mean? So it's little things like that you got to worry about with him. And then on top of that, again, we drafted for the future. We drafted Obi because we felt like, again, this is the guy that we're going to go forward with. So picking up his option, it's like you're going to say, okay, well, look, you got to be comfortable coming off the bench. And I don't know what
that exactly.
And that's not the that's not the shade him, not to talk bad about him. But at the end of the day, who wants to take a back seat after you've been in the driver's seat for so long?
Right. But at the end of the day, that's where, as a player, are you a team player now? This is where that comes into play. Because if you're a team player and you really want to be here, then you'll come off the bench and type mentor Obi, not mentor him, but help him out. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to be here, I want you to come out publicly and say that you want to be here and you're going to come off the bench. We're not going to play.
Right. And so it happened. That has happened.
Even the individual. But you know, it's not even the individual. It's today's athlete's mentality. They want what they want on their accord. You know what I'm saying? Look at the fact that James Harden now, you want out of Houston after we've catered to you. We've given you everything. You've ruined every aspect of Houston's franchise because we couldn't get you to play alongside any of the all-star level talent that we brought. And now you want out because, you know, again, you couldn't get along with the coach that they're bringing in or the guy that you know what I'm saying, they got rid of the GM that you like or whatever the reason is. It's like, again, you know, today's athletes are kind of spoiled where they want things on their accord. So even now with Randle talking about coming back and wanting to be back, if you sit here and say, okay, well, we'll bring you back, or maybe we'll bring you back on a you know, maybe we won't give you the 17, maybe we give you about 13 mil. And his
hey boss, you ain't gonna get 20 and 10 on 13 mil. You ain't gonna get 20 and 10 at 13 mil, man. That's just
but no, listen to what I'm saying though. If I sat there and said, okay, you know, maybe we, you know, but again, if we're talking about being a team player, and I'm saying, okay, well, we can't offer you this much this time. Maybe we can even space you out a little bit longer, so that way it's allow a little bit more sustainability. Maybe instead of a 2-year deal, maybe we give you a 4-year deal for $13 million each year. And you complain about, well, I was just receiving $17 million. Right. Like, homie, I thought you was a team player. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the thing that we got to be, you know, aware of too, because again, like I said, it's not about just Randle, it's about today's athletes as a whole. You know, a lot of them right now are looking for that bag. It's not a lot of them that's out there saying, I want to be here and win here, like a damn Lillard, you know, like for now, like a Giannis, you know. I don't want to play with anybody else. I don't even want to train with anybody else. I want to train with my guys and my guys alone. I want to play with my guys and my guys alone. I want to win with my guys and my guys alone. And it's not a lot of that personality.
That loyalty thing got to be a two-way street, though. You know what I'm saying? That loyalty thing. With me, the loyalty thing is bigger than just casual stuff. You know what I'm saying? When I say I'm loyal to somebody, that means I'm legit. Like me and Beans, right? Like legit. When I come on. Now I be looking for Beans. I'll be like, why Beans ain't in the chat? You know what I'm saying? And it ain't cause and listen, it ain't cause you know, I be wanting to do it. It's like, yo, my man come on and he be straight. I be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? We got to get Beans on. Like when you come on, like when Delano still be like in the chat, I be seeing you everywhere. I be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? That's my man. You ain't gonna get me to say no greasy words about, you know what I'm saying, Delano still, you know what I'm saying? So the thing with the Knicks front office and Julius Randle is, if Julius going out there and giving you 2010, and then the Knicks got all this cap space, and then you trying to lowball them, it just don't feel, you know what I'm saying?
Authentic. It don't feel authentic.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you gotta at least bring me back at the money I was making. You know what I'm saying? If we don't make no money, if we don't make no move going forward, you at least let's move forward with what we already been doing. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them things, man. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you don't downgrade me.
Yeah, and I'm still giving you 20 and 10. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Even now, just that's what I was saying. Like, okay, if I don't give you the contract as far as what you were making every individual season for the 2 years, right. That's what I'm saying. If I space it out for you, get more years with me. Right. I might have to take a little bit off of the top of that money. But at the end of the day, those 4 years, you're going to still equate to the money that you was making with the 20 and 10. Well, you know what I'm saying?
I would, in that case, I would just tell Julius that he don't match the timeline, and instead of like lowball, I just lay dog. Right. We got Obi, you know, Obi fit the timeline. He the exact same age as some of our third and fourth year players. You know what I'm saying? In a perfect world, you know what I'm saying, we could bring you back, but you just don't fit. You know what I'm saying? Let me just, you know what I'm saying, let me just cut you the check so you can step. Let me not pick up this player option. You get your $4 million, you get to go sign go get the bag from somebody else, and everybody all good, because we got to play this kid Obi. This kid Obi is not has the potential not to be an all-star player. We talking about a dude that might be Sean Kemp. He might be Sean Kemp with a jumper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you opportunity. We got to give him opportunity. But like I said, this is rookie year. So him coming off the bench for Randle is cool.
Right.
But after this year, bro, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's been real.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just best. Sometimes it's just best to go separate ways. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, in the way I would see it, the perfect situation would be we could trade Randle to somebody that need 20 and 10, somebody like Minnesota, right? But not for I don't want no 40-year-old point guard, and I don't want no 30-year-old big man that got 3 years left on a whack deal. I legit want something that's going to line up with our timeline, right? You got to send me back you got to send me Jared Culver or some draft picks or something for Julius Randle. Oh, probably both. Jared Culver and we got to get something for Randle, because finding a 25-year-old 20 and 10 dude at power forward is just tough. Davis Bertans is in that range, right, of not 20 and 10, but bringing elite skills to the table, and he got the bag, and he wasn't even starting, and he got the bag from DC. You know what I'm saying?
80 mil, 5 years.
Yeah, he got the bag. So you like, yo, you don't even play. You don't play an ounce. You don't play a thimble full of defense. You know what I'm saying? You don't do nothing outside shoot the ball, and he got the bag. You know what I'm saying? And cats like Danilo Gallinari got like 2 years, 40 million.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I mean, I know how people feel about Randle, right? But I just feel like you got to look at value. You know what I'm saying? You got to don't just look at the player. You got to look at the value. You got to look at 25-year-old power forward getting you 20 and 10. You put that out there on the open market. You know what I'm saying? Teams legit don't have that. And the teams that legit have 25-year-old 20 and 10s, they players are named Anthony Davis, Giannis Antetokounmpo, names like that are doing 20-plus points and 10-plus rebounds in that same age range. You know what I'm saying? I'm not calling Julius them. I'm not saying Julius Randle is them, but what I'm saying is it's hard to find those dudes, man. You know what I'm saying?
And I can see him in a couple spots too that would probably be sweet. Like, can you imagine Randle in Portland,
right,
or somewhere like Phoenix,
right?
You know what I'm saying? With them young boys running up and down Chris Paul, he ain't the main scorer. That's what scared me, because I just feel like he's not a number one. We gave him a shot next year. Okay, bad coaching. Okay, I get it. I understand. But he still got that 20 and 10. But I feel like he should just it's just hard to pick, man. Like he's not a number one. We know that. He gotta be like the number 3.
Right. So the perfect spot for him would be, in my opinion, the perfect spot for him would be a place like San Antonio, where they have a superstructure in place. They have a championship pedigree, and they have been known to get the very best out of the players that they get. Don't
they still got Aldridge?
Yeah. They got him playing center.
He played a center. I thought he
played center this year. Yeah, he played center for them. They ran DeMar DeRozan at some power forward this year, a little teeny bit. I know. And they got Rudy Gay. They ran Rudy Gay at power forward. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to me, Randle is an upgrade over Rudy Gay and putting an undersized dude at power forward. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
he
saying?
definitely great over Rudy Gay. Now Rudy Gay eight years ago, different. But now he got Gay. He got
Yeah,
Gay right.
yeah. So you can send Randle there for like just some young prospects and some like a Lonnie Walker, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Bring him here.
Pop ain't giving up Lonnie. Pop is not giving up.
Right. Hey, well, man, hey, but they have a glut though. They have
One
a
of them
glut.
point guards. I take one of them point guards. Don't they got like 3 good point guards over there? Young point guards.
Yeah. Hey, that DeJounte Murray kid is special.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's
And
what
his defense is just woo.
Right.
Baseline to baseline.
I'm telling
Like Pop know how to pick them. I'll tell you that, boy.
and so San Antonio get the very best out of their players. Like they legit took. I don't know if y'all remember this or not, but Atlanta had Boris Diaw, and Boris Diaw ate his way out of being a guard. Remember Boris Diaw used to be a big guard, right, from overseas, and he kept gaining weight every year. And so Pop was like, "Look, we gonna put you at power forward, but you can still use them guard skills." You know what I'm saying? And then Boris Diaw wound up being a good role player for them. You know what I'm saying? So I can imagine. So hey, so Trust said Randle for DeRozan.
Nah,
I ain't feeling that either.
Nah. DeRozan up. DeRozan what? 31? 31, 30, 31?
I think so, something like that.
He just don't fit in with the timeline. He don't fit in with the timeline.
Nah, because if you get DeRozan, that means you blocking RJ.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Because if you put
he's
him at
blocking
3,
somebody, he's blocking Frank, he's blocking somebody.
The problem, though, I'll tell you what the problem is. It's style of play. RJ and DeRozan play the exact same style of play. So it's like you're just mid-range jumper to mid-range jumper. So there's not really a lot of floor spacing. Because if your range is going to be 17 feet the entire time, RJ steps out for a 17-footer. Then DeRozan steps out for a 17-footer. So when I need a 3-point basket, who's going to be that guy to say, okay, let me step out and take that 3? Because both of them really aren't knockdown 3-point shooters, but they're great at the mid-range. So that's where I'm looking at again. I need that floor spacing, and that's got to come from the 3, because if I'm going to continue to run RJ at the 2, and again, I think he's more fitting at the 2 than he is at the 3. You know, I can play him in spurts at the 3. Then I'm gonna need somebody on the wing. I'm gonna need somebody on the baseline 3. I'm gonna need somebody on the wing on the elbow of the 3. Just so I can get that space going. You know, that's really one of the biggest problems we got right now. If it ain't Alec Burks, then who's it gonna be coming? You know what I'm saying? As far as in the starting lineup. Then when you look at the bench, who's it gonna be coming off the bench? Because Bullock ain't hitting it right now. You know, Knox really ain't been hitting. You know, and Obi, I think Obi, you know, honestly need to work inside out more than outside in. You know, I think that's coaching than anything else. You know, style of play. But overall, I'm looking at, you know, if we're gonna look for somebody, we need to either look for a sharpshooter, or, you know, again, just look at the draft and look for somebody that's the starting caliber small forward, along with the starting caliber point guard that we need.
Yeah, I understand that, but I also feel like at the end of the day, I feel like all that sharp shooting and shooting that we looking for, I feel is like right in our face, and we just not using it, or we not getting to it. Like, what's up with my man Iggy? Is he on the team or is he not on the team? Last year, he did his thing and all that. Last year, G League, he did. Like, why is he not getting a shot? Like, what's going on? Like,
I had a laugh at
Kevin. Have shooting on the bench that we not even testing out.
Yeah, how do you sit there and make an excuse for Kevin Knox all day, but then turn around and say, well, Iggy probably ain't good enough to... How do you say that when this guy was dropping like 40 points in the G League? You got to call him up and see what he could do on the main roster. Maybe send Kevin Knox down to the G League and see if he could average 53 points or something, since he think it's so easy. You know what I mean? Because
Troy Flett said it's politics. Troy Flett legit just said it's politics. Like my man can't get buried because of politics.
I ain't gonna front from Iggy. I get like that Ginobili type feel. For some reason, I don't know why, but I get like that Ginobili type feel.
Right.
Iggy's only problem right now for sure is defense. That's really the only complaint you can have when it comes down to Iggy, because everything else that you've seen in that sample size last season in the summer league, everything you've seen when it comes down to the G League, the boy's been hooping. We talking about we looking for Joe Harris. Why are we looking for Joe Harris? Joe Harris is in the Westchester.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Again, what is it that we're lacking when it comes down to Iggy? Because again, I'm just looking at why didn't we call him up to the main roster and put him in the games when it was meaningful?
Right.
And we was looking to see what we got, you know, and it makes sense if we talking politics because again, he was a second rounder as opposed to Kevin Knox being a lottery pick. But if your lottery pick ain't panning out, you got to do what's best for the team. Politics can't do nothing for the rest of the team's sake and the franchise. You know what I'm saying? You know, as far as their credibility, if you're sitting here playing politics.
Right. I agree with both of y'all. Hey, so shout out to Stephen Fox too, by the way. Stephen Fox has been sitting in. Yo, my man is the hardest working man on the Knicks at Night podcast team, man. My man is legit grinding behind the scenes. So we really appreciate, you know, the contributions of Stephen Fox, man. He's doing his thing. A lot of this stuff we can't even get done, you know, without Stephen Fox. So Stephen, if you're listening, hey, salute. Let me do like this for Stephen Fox. Hey, Stephen, tip of the cap, brother. Hey, great job last night. The show was so dope. Hey, and
yo, I tried to jump on there last night. Stephen Fox is the guy with the glasses, right?
Right.
I seen him on there last night. I tried to jump in, but I couldn't find the joint that you be putting in the chat.
Yeah,
get in.
Hey, that was my fault though.
Join the chat. I say, yo, can I join the chat? And he never got back to me.
That was my fault, man. So what happened is when Foxy be running the show, I'll be behind the scenes doing the stuff like putting the links in and taking people on and off the screen and all that stuff, right? But a machine at work broke down. So now I'm sitting outside in the cold trying to get this thing, and so the show going on, and so I didn't get a chance to put y'all in. You know what I'm saying? So that wasn't no slight on his part. That was just, you know what I'm saying, me distracted or whatever. But big dog, you know man, come on, dog, you family.
I seen Grandma on them in there going crazy last night. I'm like, damn, let me try.
Tell my man Bees, he family, man. I mean, legit, like dog. So people DM me all day, like, yo, I want to get on the show, and I'm like, I don't know if the timing right. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be disrespectful or whatever. But just some cats, you know, so they be wanting to get on a joint to promote themselves. It don't be about the Knicks or this family here. You know what I'm saying?
All the promotion that come to you. You just got to, like you said, you just got to be legit and know and feel what you're talking about, and then everything else will take care of itself.
Right. And then plus, I ain't trying to have nobody on the joint that's just going to be talking about their stuff. You know what I'm saying? You ain't coming on here with that.
It's your own channel.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You ain't going to eat on here not like that. You know what I'm saying? Not for that reason. You know what I'm saying? Because for us, we don't have a sounding board. Like I be telling Kat all the time, the Knicks fans don't legit have their own sounding board. Like we can't legit go nowhere. Like I legit. And so I was talking to a Knicks. I was talking to Macri, right? But I can't go on Knicks Film School and just, you know what I'm saying, eat. You know what I'm saying? Because they got a format. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Macri. Macri said he'll come on sometime. But like I can't go on other people's joint and talk to y'all like this. Because they got a format and they gonna follow it. You know what I'm saying? And no shade to them, but they got a thing a certain way they gonna do stuff. I respect that. But I be wanting to talk about the Knicks, dog. And I be wanting to talk about the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? You ain't just gonna shove like mainstream media down my throat. I've been a Knicks fan since '76. I was with Shorty. I love Clyde Frazier. When we traded Clyde Frazier, I cried. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? When we traded John, when we traded Starks, I legit had to take me a little break from work, man. You know what I'm saying? Go outside, smoke me a Black and Mild, you know what I'm saying? Get my mind together. You know what I'm saying?
When we traded Ewing.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, dog. That's what I'm saying. Dog, that's what I'm saying. So the mainstream media can't tell me nothing. Just because they went to school for journalism and they got all these degrees on the wall and they write real eloquent and they speak all pretty, dog, you can't tell me nothing about these Knicks. You can't tell me about these Knicks, man. And I be wanting other cats just like me to have a conversation. Hey, listen, Alahan look like a really cool dude, man. You know what I'm saying? And no shade towards him. And sometimes I enjoy hearing him talk about stuff. But I be wanting to mix it up with Sima Singh and Bodega Wi-Fi about these Knicks. You know what I'm saying? That's why we do this here. And that's why people come on, because they legit get the opportunity to chop it up about these Knicks, man. And I'm sorry about going off on a tangent, man, but still.
Man. We gonna get an unbiased take on the Knicks, because it seems like every time you look at sports media, it's nothing but pointing and laughing at the Knicks organization, and you really don't like. There's no legit reason. They've done so many things to me where I'm looking at the media like, y'all are really influencing people to dislike it.
Right.
And your job is not to come in here and be biased at all. You know, the fact that you got, Stephen A. Smith clowning the Knicks, the fact that R.J. Barrett couldn't even get a vote for, all NBA rookie on any team. Like, how does that work when he's got the better numbers than a lot of these other players? And you can't even say, oh, well, it's the record, when some of these guys got losing records too. The fact that we don't get the respect, you know what I'm saying, because of the fact that you hearing everybody else. We're talking about everybody else.
And we legit don't get a chance to say nothing back. They be clowning us and we don't get a chance to say nothing back. That's the thing that's the reason why we do this here. It be frustrating, man. Stephen A. Smith get on ESPN and be clowning us, and we don't have no platform to say nothing back. But guess what, Stephen A. Smith? Guess what? Surprise. We got us a joint. We got us a joint where we can come on and be heard. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes cats get on and they'll talk you to death. Cats will talk for like 20 minutes straight, right? And I'll be like, so what? You know what I'm saying? So what? Go ahead and vent. I know you mad. I know you frustrated, dog. Come on. And I know sometimes the guests will be like, man, this dude won't never. He talk over everybody. He just, hey, dog. When you've been bashed, when the media bash your team, and all you can do is buy the paper and read it, or turn on ESPN and listen to it, you have that stuff built up in you where you want to say something.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. But back to these Knicks, man. Dennis Smith Jr., I got to see something out of you, bro. Got to see something out of you. I hate to see you get up out of here, but what you thinking?
Contract year. Make a break time.
Ain't it one for Kevin Knox too?
Nah, it's him and Frank Ntilikina right now. Those are the two.
Him and Frank. And ain't it an option for Kevin Knox or something like that?
The option for Kevin Knox is on the table. So now, like I said before, some of that potential got to lead to productivity, because at this point now you playing for your livelihood.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Hey, do you know what, man? When it comes to all them dudes, I just want to win, man. I just want to win. I don't care about Dennis Smith Jr. winning no dunk contest if we ain't winning. You know what I'm saying? I don't care nothing about Kevin Knox coming out with energy if we ain't winning. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing, dog, is, man, I just want to win, man. That's why when Beans asked me about the playoffs, I'm like, hell yeah, I want to make the playoffs, dog. You know what I'm saying? Because for one, you can't win a championship if you ain't in the playoffs, right? And I'm not saying that we're gonna win a championship, but at least it give us hope. You know what I'm saying? Oh hell, look who here. I'm gonna bring my man on. Y'all gonna laugh like hell.
What's good, bro?
Joe man in the building. What's good?
What's happening, buddy? How's this morning show treating you? Good?
And hey man.
Shoot. You have the same crew on as we have at night. These Knicks fans are nuts. 24 hours, baby.
That's what I'm saying, dog. That's what I'm saying. Like we legit, man. We get tired of getting beat up in the national media and don't have a say. You know what I'm saying? You call like I saw a dude call a Michael K show, right? And no shade to the Michael K show, whatever. I ain't trying to be disrespectful, but what I'm saying is, dude call in, ask one question, he compliment the host, ask a question, and get off. He's like, "Hey, Michael K, I love your shirt. What do you think about the Knicks' new team president?" And I'll hang up. Hey, dog, nah, man, nah. It ain't that. We need Knicks fans legit need a place to talk.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We need a place to you know what I'm saying, to get it. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why it be so popular, man. And I know cats be like, "Man, Freezy, stop talking about the channel and talk about the Knicks." In a way, I'm talking about both, man. You know what I'm saying? We need stuff like this right here.
Yeah, they connected.
Yeah, we need because like legit, if we lose to Cleveland Wednesday night, bro,
I'm telling you, it's only the preseason, but at the same time, to me, it's the only way we're gonna win games. It's guard play. We don't have any. DSJ is running around in circles at the top of the key. Frank's not to me, he's more of a 2 guard. He's going to be a 3 and D guard in this league. We need someone to facilitate this team. We don't have any. And the Knicks fans are going to be up. They're going to be up RJ and they're going to be up on Obi. Oh, they're not there. We're wasting picks. These guys are trash. Obi needs a point guard. Obi's point guard is going to be out in the draft this year. Obi's point guard averaged 18 and 7 last year. And it's a damn good point guard.
My man, not to cut you off.
Boy.
My man Casey. My man CP is in the chat. Hey, shout out to my man, Knicks Fan TV. My man do excellent work. Work. Get on that grind, man. Hey, CP, man, if you want to jump in, I'm just throwing it out there. I know you're a celebrity now. I know you're a celebrity now, man, but if you want to jump on, man, you got an open invite. You know what I'm saying? You know you family, you good money. So,
yeah,
but
CP and them dudes do excellent work. They're growing fast too.
Yeah, man. Them dudes love the Knicks. You know me. I say I love the Knicks more than anybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know a Knicks fan that love the Knicks harder than me. You know what I'm saying? But it's a bunch of y'all out there that love these Knicks, man. But the thing with Dennis Smith Jr. though, bro, Dennis Smith Jr., Frank, and all these other cats, man, that run point for us, man, they got to do something. They got to get us in good offense, right? We have to legit get in consistently good offense and get good looks for our skill players. Because what's been happening is we've not been getting in good offense, and we scramble late in the shot clock, and we get bad shots or not necessarily bad shots or forced offense, which is not good. And then we don't make up for it by running. You know what I'm saying? You could do that sometimes if you can get out on a fast break and run and get easy buckets. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of what my man Beans was saying, what about DSJ? Hey man, listen, I'm giving him to the All-Star break, and if he ain't it, then I'm saying move on.
Yeah, I know we saying we ain't really got no guard play, but I just feel like the other 3 guards that we got on the bench, we should give it a try and see what we got, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Quickly needs time, but Quickly's better to me off ball. He's not shooting. He needs to be running off screens. Like, he's a better off ball guard. And I can see the Knicks trying him out at point guard. They kind of showed their hand the other night by putting him at point guard because that's I think where they might use him more. But they need some sort of guard play because what's going to kill us was Detroit seeing what we were doing to them in the paint the first game. In the second half of the first game, they adjusted. And the start of the second game, they threw the zone at us.
Right.
Every team in the NBA is going to throw the zone at us because they know we can't shoot and we don't have a guard to break down the play.
Right.
So that's the problem we're going to have. That's why I think I want to see Austin Rivers start a point guard because at least he can shoot.
Joe, what did you just say?
Austin Rivers at point guard.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Put the ball. No, put the ball in RJ's hands. Let RJ facilitate. Put Rivers at point guard. Let RJ facilitate because RJ has the ability. If the guys weren't knocking down shots, he needs shooters around him.
Right. Right.
Peyton can't shoot. Peyton's shot looks like a bullet coming out of a gun.
Somebody, hold on. How long has Peyton been in the league?
Peyton's been in the league
7 years.
What year was he drafted? 16.
This is his 7th year, right? Hey, let me do this thing real quick. So I gotta shout out my man because I do it for everybody. So Knicks Fan TV is in the building. What's good? Richie Rich was good. Kaiser Sauce is in the building. Otherwise, I saw you sneak in here. Otherwise, I saw you sneak in here. You can't sneak in here. You good money. Otherwise is in the building. What's good? We got so many people, man. What y'all doing up talking Knicks? Like it's not even 10 o'clock in the morning and y'all up talking Knicks already. Or coming in for this Knicks show, man. Y'all love these Knicks, man.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all love it. Joe,
yeah.
when you said Knicks 24/7, dog, it's legit Knicks.
Yeah.
24/7, dog. But to your Austin Rivers thing, man. You're gonna have to convince a bunch of us about that.
I want to see it. Well, what do we have to lose? We have trash at the guard position.
Remember when Chris Paul was injured for a good amount of time when he was playing with the Clippers and Austin Rivers was backing him up? When they put him in the starting lineup, he did have a lot of good games and kept them afloat. So I'm not opposed to it. I'm not saying that should be the long-term answer, but I wouldn't be mad at seeing him, get a few runs in as a starting point guard. You know what I'm saying? Maybe about 5 games in as a starting point guard just to see what the momentum is with that. And as Joe said, we can always, come with the RJ, as a facilitator, him handling the rock a little bit more, setting up Austin Rivers for the shot. I see UCP. I talk about Austin needs to come off the bench, but again, maybe that's the opportunity for Quickly. Maybe that opens up the door for Quickly to come off the bench. That way we can always sustain shooting the same way I was talking about sustaining shot blocking with Mitchell Robinson and Nolan Noel all season.
I ain't opposed to what CP's saying there because I mentioned that when I was on Nothing the Knicks yesterday. I said I want to see Frank start at the point, but RJ handle the ball because Frank's shooting looks like it's come along. But he hasn't shot enough of them, and he hasn't got a lot of minutes. So I want to see RJ run the team offensively and because you have Burks one side and having Frank the other, knock for kickouts, knocking down threes, because we need the spacing. That's the thing with Randle's our best player, but he locks up the paint, so teams then don't respect us when we ain't shooting.
Right.
Well, I think Austin Rivers, at the end of the day, even if he start or come off the bench, I think he's a good locker room dude, and he on a cheap deal. What is it? 3 years, $10 million.
3 years, $10 million, first year guarantee. Oh, only the first year guaranteed. So
I just think we keep him around, let him do his thing, because I think he's hungry, and I feel like once I seen that the first press conference, I ain't gonna front. He kind of made me a believer. Like, all right, let me see what you do.
Yeah,
Right.
he did. He did to me too. I always liked him. He just never had people point to his stats aren't great. I'm like, because he's always come off the bench in a playoff caliber team, and the last 3 years he was on a championship. Well, like a team pushing for the championship when he was playing behind. He played behind Chris Paul and Harden, and then it was Westbrook and Harden. So he wasn't getting major minutes. And when he did get major minutes, when Westbrook was out in the bubble, he racked up 41.
Yo, so let me ask. Hey, so Maverick 2190, are you new? Hey, Maverick 2190. If you're new or anybody else that's new, signal us, like put some type of thing in the thing, right? Type new or give a thumbs up or a smile emoji or something to let us know that you new. So this wild bunch of characters can welcome you to the Knicks Morning Drive family. We want to make sure that y'all know that this is a safe place. Y'all can come, won't get trolled hardly. You know what I'm saying? Talk y'all Knicks and stuff, and feel comfortable with this Knicks conversation. You know what I'm saying? We want to make sure all the people that are new come in feeling like this is a place that they can come in and kind of kick back and enjoy themselves. Kick back, it may not be the best word because a lot of us are highly energetic. You know what I'm saying? So kickback may not be the right word, but you know what I'm getting at. Make sure you signal us to let us know that you're in the, hey, Wayne Peterson, I see you. Hey, welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive, man. Hey, if you hadn't already, subscribe to the channel. Signal, put the notifications on, and so that you'll be, alerted anytime that we come on. We basically try to come on at 8:45 every morning. You know what I'm saying? And the Knicks at Night podcast is 11:45 p.m. every night. And so we want to make sure that we grow this thing and have more Knicks fans in the conversation so that we'll have a more robust conversation. We want to make sure that we have the most well-rounded Knicks conversation, be a place for people to come vent. You know what I'm saying? Add new stuff. You know what I'm saying? And just have an overall place where we can just talk this Knicks stuff, whereas Knicks fans that's unfiltered. Well, we try not to curse, but you know what I mean. Unfiltered or whatever, you know what I mean. Yeah. So for all the new people, man, make sure y'all smash that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, share on your social media, like the live stream, comment in the comment boxes so that we can continue to grow the conversation. You know what I'm saying? We want to make sure that Knicks fans know that they have a place where they can kind of come on and have they say be heard.
Everyone can use the Knicks at Night 11:45 as Knicks therapy after every game we play.
Therapy is definitely a good way to put it, brother.
Yeah. Because I'm just looking at the schedule and I'm looking at what teams are going to do against us, and it's like our defense is going to be fine. Just offensively, I just don't think we're going to be able to handle a lot until unless Rivers can play the point properly or we get a point guard in here. We need shooters.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing that I've been wanting to do a deep dive into with some of the, because sometimes what happens is with some of the guests that come on, we kind of get sidetracked with some of the buzzwords or whatever. And so my question to y'all is, what are we looking for specifically in our point guard? You know what I mean? Like are we legit just looking for a pick and roll handler, somebody that can score, get 20, maybe do like a 25 and 8? Or are we looking for? Oh, go ahead, boss.
For a floor general, somebody that can get the team involved, but can also get his own shot when needed. You understand what I'm saying? Like, right. You can get to the bucket, you can facilitate, and you can make the right play. It's not all about, it's about making the right play. If you can break your man down and get to the bucket, pass out, whatever Thibodeau wants you to do to the corners, that's right. Cool. But we need somebody with penetration that can, you know what I'm saying, make the defense collapse. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm. I'm in the same boat. I want more or less a point guard that can break down the defense and can shoot. Shooting is a big thing because that's everyone says about, everyone wants a modern point guard like Damian Lillard. I'm like, No, but when it comes to our team, we need a point guard that can shoot because it's going to open up that floor for everybody else.
Right.
Because when you think about it, if you're going to play Randle and play either Mitch and Noel can't shoot, so that's 2 positions taken off. And RJ isn't a top shooter yet. That's 3. So you need at least 2 positions on the floor that can hit the 3. And at the moment we're looking at our team, we only have Burks. So you're going to look at teams are going to start guarding him and guarding the paint. And that's it. And where's our scoring going to come from?
Right.
So that's why I'm looking at this there was this Buddy Hield talk, and I was like, you know what? If I have to give up for a first for Buddy Hield, I'll do it, because Buddy Hield will come in and drop 20 on a good night and open up that floor.
Right. No doubt.
But more or less, I want, if we're making any move this year, it's probably, we're probably not going to get a point guard. We're probably going to stick to what we have and then maybe look in the draft. But ideally, I'd like to move, if we're moving Randle, or I'd move Randle and DSJ or someone to try and get a point guard in here. Like Lonzo Ball to me sticks out and keeps coming to my head because the guy can pass and his shooting's getting a lot better and he's young.
Right.
So
well, the reason why I ask is because I think we legit have to look at what are we doing short term and long term, right? In the short term, we want to get the kids that we have. We want to bring their skill level up so that they can stay on the floor, i.e. Mitchell Robinson, i.e. Kevin Knox. You know what I'm saying? Those guys. We need for them to stay on the floor and prove that they can contribute to an NBA roster, right? That they can earn their rotation minutes, right? And so that's the short term thing. Because if we get them on the floor, they'll be able to get like the experience in high leverage games. The thing I think we're missing is our young kids have not played in high leverage situations enough. The only high leverage game we played, I think, was the Rockets game where it was Leon Rose's first game as officially the first game of his tenure. You know what I'm saying? And the game where RJ hit the game winner, right? So we need more high leverage games like that to put the pressure on kids so that we'll see what we have. like for instance, I'll give you an example. You can't remember what Knox did in that game, right? But you can remember what Frank Ntilikina did in that game. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, we need these high leverage situations in order to see if these kids are going to sink and swim. We legit can't keep carrying cats on the roster and their future is uncertain. So I feel like we legit need to figure out a way to kind of get back into those high leverage games. And for us, high leverage games maybe is a ESPN game. You know what I'm saying? A TNT game right now, because we're not going to be a playoff team. You know what I'm saying? Unless some things go our way, right? But what we could do is say the nationally televised games will be our high leverage games to see what our kids can do with pressure, with millions of people watching. You know what I'm saying? And so by doing that, I bring that up so we could say, so in the short term, you go after a Ricky Rubio. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that'll improve your status enough in order for you to be in the competitive in those high leverage games. You know what I mean? Or do you just look at further down the road? Do you say, let's just rock with DSJ until next year, and hopefully we can get Jalen Suggs or Cade Cunningham?
Well, I like Jalen Suggs and Cunningham, but I don't want to go down that road and we don't even win 20 games. The next thing, the lottery comes out and we got like the 7 picks, so both of them are going to be gone.
Word. Luck is just
the thing about Jalen Suggs and Cade Cunningham, they're the only 2 like worthy point guards to be in the top 10. So if we don't get it, and they're going to be top 4 picks. So if we don't get in the top 4, then we ain't getting a point guard next year either. And what free agent point guards are out there next year? None. So we're going to be doing this shit all over again. And it's a revolving door. It was like, and that's what, like, I wanted a point guard this year in the draft, but I wasn't sold on any of them. The only one I wanted was to move up was for LaMelo Ball.
Okay, well, say that.
Right.
Say that.
Nah, I'd have took care of
So that
Lewis.
way we can
I
switch
watched
up.
him last
This way
night
you
with the
walk around.
Pelicans.
Explain yourself.
I
Why
watched
is your reasoning
last
for
night.
thinking?
Looked it all right, man.
Yeah.
That boy fast with that ball, man.
But
Like I'm talking about Fox fast.
Oh, Fox, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Fox good. I like Fox.
Right.
I thought Fox was going to shake loose, and then he signed that extension.
Yeah, man.
I thought so too. I ain't even gonna hold you. I thought so too.
Man, he gonna die. He gonna die out there with all that money in Sacramento. Die in Sacramento with all that money.
Yeah.
So Joe, don't let that thought that you had just now dissipate, man. Don't let that thought that you may die just now. So you said the point guard situation, we're gonna be in a weird place of if we don't finish in the top 4 in the lottery, then what do we do for point guard? So the thing is do you feel like so what do you do? So now you're in that weird limbo. Like, do you trade for a Rubio? Do you try to groom Frank and DSJ? Do you try to move up in the draft to get one of those kids? And or so what do you do in that situation? Like you brought up the point, and now we're in that weird limbo of what's next. And the reason why I say that is because there were point guards available this year, and the organization passed on them, right? The Malachi Flynn, the Terrell Terry, a lot of guys that were attainable, and we just even Rubio was available, and we didn't go get him. So what do we do now?
That got to me because I liked Malachi Flynn. I really liked Tyrell Terry. I thought we could have got Tyrell Terry that 23rd pick, and then could have got quickly later on with that 33rd pick, but they mustn't have seen something in him. I think it was his defensive flows was a big thing because he's so small.
Right.
But I think
yeah. I think with what you said, Freeze, I think that you said what do we do? I think the Knicks been building assets for this situation because I feel like they know Tom Thibodeau, he needs a point guard. Like they know, I think they already know off the gate what kind of, you know what I'm saying? And I think they putting something together for that, honestly. You know what I'm saying? If all fell, we got assets to make a trade to get a point guard. If we really
the assets,
like we need one right now, all the young assets, I'm talking about like draft picks and young players, like they can put something together to get a point guard.
Yeah. So why are they waiting?
I don't know. They're waiting to see one. I think it's more or less they're waiting for the disgruntled one to shake loose. And Westbrook was in their mind, but Westbrook was too expensive because they looked at it.
Do we really want a disgruntled player trying to leave a different situation?
That's what I think they're waiting for because they're built up all these second round picks. They have $18 million in cap space. Every team usually uses their money unless it's used for something. They're holding on to that money for something. And they have to have it. That money has to be spent by, I think, the trade deadline.
Yeah.
No, they have to. They have to spend it by. I think I heard. Maybe CP had said it. They have to spend it by the end of the season, and if not, they'll be taxed. But the tax money goes to the roster. Like they legit split it like 15 ways, and it goes to the players on the roster, something weird like that.
Yeah.
So I got one question. I may have explained it incorrectly, but that's the basic premise of it.
I got a question for y'all. One question. What do y'all think? I might get fried for this, but I don't care. What do y'all think about Isaiah Thomas? Signing Isaiah Thomas?
I would, to be honest. He's
no.
Hey, go ahead, Joe.
One year.
He doesn't have a job. You could give him the year for like $2 million. He's not going to be any cap hit. And then if it doesn't work, you give him 10 games. If it doesn't work, you can waive him.
Do y'all want to get denied?
What y'all think?
Style of play, he's more of a scoring point guard than a facilitator. So I'd rather look for more of a floor general, like you were saying before. You know what I'm saying? I look for somebody that's the scoring point guard.
I like the shooting though. The shooting is a big thing for me.
Under Tibbs, you know how Tibbs do. He's a point guard whisperer. You give him certain point guards and they just excel. I think Isaiah Thomas will be in that same role. I think he helps.
Why can't that?
I think he needs to scream in DSJ's ear.
Yeah, why hasn't that worked for
Right,
us
yeah.
yet? Why isn't it going to
Right,
work for us?
that was gonna be my next thing.
Yeah.
But
trying.
I was going.
I just wanted to, show love and everything. I'm gonna catch y'all tonight, more than likely. But salute to y'all, man. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Y'all have a good morning and everything, and be safe out there.
All right, bro. Have a good day. All right.
Hey, boss. Hey, it's good to see you, man. Make sure you come back. You know this your channel. Still, you know this your channel.
Yes, go Knicks. You know the vibe.
All right, man.
All right, bro.
What's up? Yeah.
But
Fence breaking up.
Yeah.
But Ricky Rubio, how long's his contract left? What's left on it? Is it a year or two?
And I was talking about Tom. Ricky Rubio. Wasn't Rubio in Minnesota when Tom got there and Tom traded him?
Yeah.
No. Ricky stayed with.
Yeah.
Ricky wasn't traded by Minnesota. He didn't. He traded.
He was in Minnesota.
Oh yeah,
Tom Thibodeau didn't like him. That's why they traded him away. He got Chris Dunn. He got Chris Dunn, and they drafted Chris Dunn and Lauri Markkanen, and then traded Lauri Markkanen for Zach LaVine.
No, they traded Lauri Markkanen and Zach LaVine together to Minnesota for Jimmy Butler.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, they traded Markkanen, Chris Dunn, and LaVine for Jimmy Butler.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, he got rid of Rubio. I don't think Rubio would not be in New York.
No,
Tom's funny like that, man.
I just we had the conversation last night on the Knicks at Night podcast, right? And so a few of the fellas, hey, I see you, Prince. Hold on. There we go. But we had the conversation last night, man, where Stephen Fox and Kevin Wright and Rob the Knicks were saying that they would trade Randle and something for Rubio. And to me, that's heresy. You know what I'm saying? You don't trade, and I know y'all don't like Randle, right? And I'm not saying that you should. What I'm saying, though, is his value. The value of Randle is more than the value of another team's backup point guard. You know what I'm saying? You don't just trade a 25-year-old, 20-10 guy for the team. They're the worst team in the league. They had the number one pick. And if you can't start for the worst team in the league, why do we want you here to come start?
because they have D'Angelo Russell, an all-star, ahead of him.
Yeah.
But Russell could play the. I was about to say he could play the two, but then they drafted that boy to play the two.
Yeah, and they have him on the bench, and because they re-signed Beasley, which I wanted Beasley with the Knicks. I'm not gonna front.
Right.
I wanted him with the Knicks, but
I wanted them too.
He'd have been nice. 15
Kaiser,
million, not 4 years. That's not bad. That's the same money we gave Bobby Portis, and the guy's a light-out shooter, and he's been showing it. That last year wasn't a fluke. Them 20 games last year, he played no fluke. Because he's hitting them buckets now in preseason. He's looking good. I like the dude.
Yeah, I was watching him preach to the youngsters like Anthony Edwards and them. Like, he looked like he would have been a perfect type of pro vet for us. You know, to teach the young cats. I would have loved him to come to the Knicks. Yeah,
because he's young too. He's only 24. The thing is, he was sitting on the bench with Denver for a couple of years behind all them guys. But once he got his playing time, he started to shell out. And I think that time with Denver was probably good for him.
Right.
But that guy is like whatever all the law issues he had with the gun and stuff. That didn't bother me.
You can look across both ways. Why are you going over there? Come on, man.
So Andy and Black Andy in the building. What's good, Andy?
What's good, Andy?
Oh, Andy over from over the pond.
Yeah. Yeah. So just because Andy is here, I have to do it, man. So Frank Ntilikina is a 6'4" Tree Rollins.
Come on, man. Don't start again, Freezy, man.
That's Andy. Andy knows I'm trolling, though. Andy knows I'm trolling it in good fun. So
that's what we used to say about Frank. Frank is a 6'4" Mitch, and Mitch is a 7'1" Frank.
Y'all sick, man. Y'all sick.
Yeah. Hey, but I keep forgetting that the Frankas are so sensitive. Oh, okay. Okay. So before I do this, I have to change the name of the next guest. He come in, so Chuck B is talking about he's the Legion Destroyer.
Oh, he heard Frank and he come on. Yeah. As soon as he heard Frank, he's like, all right, I'm ready to go.
And he had to come get him. So.
Where is
Hey,
he?
what's good, Chuck?
Where is Legion?
Legion ain't coming on, man. You know,
Where is
coming
Legion?
on, won't smoke. He coming on, won't smoke early.
Where is,
boy.
Yeah.
The Legion Destroyer.
Where
I'm
is
here for all of that.
Well, what did I miss? What did I miss?
Wow.
What did I miss?
Last night, him and 4 other guys spent 2 hours destroying Dennis Smith Jr.
Wow.
I'm here
Wow.
I'm here for
yeah.
Oh,
but the thing is, you know, that's their opinion, man. I mean, you can't have a channel saying it's for Knicks fans to vent and then not let them vent. You know what I'm saying?
But the whole show was about DSJ.
True.
I mean, they wasn't completely, because Kevin was legit in his bag about Kevin Knox. Kevin was legit in his bag about Kevin Knox.
Which Kev? Kev W or Corner Store Kev?
No, Kev W. Kev W.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, Cornerstone Kev is in his bag about Frank.
No,
like you legit can't even say anything about Frank.
Corner Store.
Corner Store.
Yeah,
right. Corner Store Kev.
Corner Store Kev. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. So Cornerstone Kev legit can't legit listen to Frank slander at all. I mean, I said, so Frank missed a 3 from the wing, and Kev went in his bag for like 20 minutes. I was like, dog, he just missed a shot. No, Kev had to go on for like 20 minutes. So, but that's our man. So,
is Steven in here? Is Steven in here?
No, he ain't here.
Oh, he left?
No, he wasn't in here.
You said his name. I thought he was in here.
No, he wasn't. No, he ain't in here.
Hey, you gotta go. We gotta get
to Joe and Prince.
Speech.
No. In the chat.
No, I didn't see him.
But Steve was in the chat when I was logging in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see him. My bad.
Yeah, because he was reading DSJ body language. And I want to talk to him too.
He was reading his body language.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, and sorry for cutting you off. He told me, he was like, Uncle Freezy, look, don't jump on this Kevin Knox bandwagon when Kevin Knox get in his bag. And I told Kevin, I was like, hey, you know, Kevin Knox bandwagon is pulled by horses because it don't have a motor. And so he got mighty sensitive when I said that.
Boom.
Yeah. So yeah, man.
Leave my boy Knox alone, Freezy.
Hey man, I'm just saying, if you are a 6'9" athlete with like a 7-foot wingspan and is known for having a sweet stroke and you're athletic, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to at least bring something by year 3. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be the I dunk on everybody guy or I'm the finesse guy that strokes the threes. You have to bring something. But right now, we don't know what Knox is. We just know he's 6'9".
I'm telling you, that Knicks plane in JFK Airport's waiting, and Knox, DSJ, Frank, they look like they're getting ready to get on it.
That strokes the threes. Yeah, there's something.
And if they want, I'll carry Julius Randle on my back by foot to that plane and throw him on it too.
That's crazy.
Yo.
Because I'm telling you, Thibodeau's not going to take. There's going to be no more crap. Thibodeau's going to be like, all right, by the trade, I guarantee, by the trade deadline, there's going to be a massive roster turnover, crazy massive.
Right.
There's going to be a lot of guys. There's going to be a lot of guys out of here because I'm like, they all need to be held accountable. How come RJ can go away for 9 months and come back faster, stronger? And his shot looks better. Everything looks better. Knox looks the same. DSJ looks a little bit better, but not in shape. Frank's shot looks better, but he's only taking one of them a game. Like, you need. There's this like, I'm like, how are you supposed to evaluate these guys when they're not doing anything? Like, all of them, like, you got to give DSJ a little bit of credit because DSJ at least is trying. He's trying to run an offense. And he's playing solid defense, and defense wasn't his game. Frank's doing the same thing, but with a little bit of his shot. Not enough of them. Knox, I don't know what the hell Knox is on the floor for. He's straight up for a shot. He's like, I don't know what to do with these guys. I'm like, because you expected 9 months for them to be better. And 9 months is like 3 3 off seasons to get better. And they've got nowhere. We don't have anything. We need to start. Was it Rob was saying in one of the other video shots? He was like, "Oh, the rebuild started 3 years ago." No. The rebuild started this year. You're going with RJ and Obi. Mitch is going back to be on that plane too if he don't wake up either.
Right.
Because like,
I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you. What you said. And Joe, listen. So the thing I wanted to get talk to you about is man, when you make all these points, man, you gotta let us jump in and say something. Like right now, you legit just said 4 things that make perfect sense, and we can only digest like one at a time because we need to take the deep dive. Like what you was like for instance, you saying the rebuild is started this year. I agree with you, and the reason why I agree is because you can't just draft a kid and say we're starting to rebuild. And not put rebuilding pieces in place. And rebuilding pieces are not players. Rebuilding means you're putting a development system in place, and you're putting a system in place where you know that these kids are gonna. You want these kids to develop in a certain way. Like you don't just draft the talent and then mold your rebuild around that talent. You have to be like Miami. Like the Miami Heat's rebuild was about toughness, right? And about toughness. And then they brought in guys that were tough and showed positional flexibility, like they can shoot, handle, pass, all of that from their positions, right? With the Knicks, the Knicks started their rebuild this year because they went out and got probably the best college assistant in the game, right? They went out and got one of the best assistant coaches in the game, NBA assistant coach. They went out and got 3 coaches that were familiar to the head coach that they hired. Right, and told the owner, listen, don't expect the Larry O'Brien Trophy this year or next year. We're legit going to try to build our own homegrown talent, right? And so the thing is now that you have those things in place, you legit can say a rebuild. Under Steve Mills and Phil Jackson, all they did was draft a young kid and make them play with veterans and say it was a rebuild. I don't think you can just slap a sign on something and say it's something else.
Yeah. No, I agree. People said about the rebuild started 3 years ago. I'm like, no, it's now. It's this new regime. Was it Scott Perry drafted RJ? And I think if any other organization's front office had the 3rd pick that year, they would have took RJ. So RJ's in that. This year, this regime took Obi. they're the two guys you're going to build off of, because you look at Frank was a Phil Jackson mistake. Scott Perry took Knox as a project, which they didn't need. There was better players. You had Shea Alexander there. There was Donovan. No, that's a different draft. You had Shea Alexander. You had just so many other better talents. You went with Knox. Like, this regime, they're trying to make them guys work, but they're not major priorities. I think the major priorities of this organization is Obi and RJ and Mitch. But Mitch doesn't make a step and start putting more on the offensive end, then he's not going to be here either. So this year, I think this year is an evaluation year. It's a year where they're trying to figure out what they have and then build off of it. I think the reason they brought in was it Kenny Payne and some of these guys was for the likes of Knox and for DSJ. But if they don't have it, they're going to have to move on from them. Like, especially for DSJ and Frank. I think the main thing for DSJ too is they're trying to give him as much minutes for trade value, because they don't want him let him go for nothing. They want to try and get at least a second round, like a late second round pick out of him before he goes, because he's a free agent next year, and if he plays the way he's playing, they ain't going to sign him. So this whole year is, I don't expect us. People say, oh, we might win 25, 30 games. I don't expect that. If we win more than 20 games, I'll be very surprised.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and disagree with you and Freezy. I say the rebuild started with KP, and just because they messed up along the way, don't mean it starts over. It started with KP. Freezy, with your logic, we could have the next 6 picks in the draft. The next 6 we could be a lottery the next 6 years and add 6 players and then replace Thibodeau, and then a new regime come with a new system. Then you would call that a rebuild over. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you say that's you say we rebuild it now. This is year 1 of the rebuild. Right. I think it's based on players and not the system. The system's a system. You rebuild with players.
Right. But so here's the thing, Chuck. Your hearing aid is broken. You need to change the battery in your hearing aid. Because I legit just now said that you don't just rebuild with players. You don't just take a sign and slap it on it and call it something else, right? You have to establish, and I understand what you're saying about the coaching staff, but after I said coaching staff, I said you have to go to your owner and say, we're not doing such and such because we're doing such and such and such. Now the owner and the organization in the trickle-down mode understands, even if you change the coach and the coaching staff, you're still in this mode. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying, the thing, you don't just rebuild with KP and a roster full of veterans and then say, well, this is the rebuild. We got one young guy and a bunch of veterans on high-priced contracts. We're rebuilding. You don't do that.
He was the start of the rebuild. He was the first piece of the rebuild. So if Frank was supposed to be the second piece, so you keep adding on to that. That's your rebuild there.
No, because I disagree, because I think that's completely different regime. Like, KP's came, went, and gone. It's like, come here. I put it in an analogy. It's say you have an uncle that owns a construction company and he's retired and he gives you the company, and he has 5 guys in the team that are all lazy and useless. You're going to keep them if you're going to restart a company? No, you fire them, you get new guys in. It's the same thing with the Knicks. You have Knox, Frank, and some of these guys that are useless to you, but are you going to keep them to rebuild? No, you get your own guys in and you move on.
Can I get in real quick? Oh, you could go. You go.
All right. Now, first y'all said this year is the first year of the rebuild, right?
In my eyes, yeah. New regime, new coach, new everything.
Okay, so with your logic, how was RJ part of the rebuild?
Because here, and my logic was that all the other picks were surprises, were not picks I expected. RJ, any GM with half a brain in the NBA would have took RJ with the 3rd overall pick because he was the 3rd best player in the draft. Any regime would have took RJ with number 3.
So the rebuild started with him then in that scenario.
Yeah, you
all right, if
now
you
you're
want
talking over your point. Yeah, you talking you back talking your point, because again, like you said, I feel what Freezy said. You can't slap, like I said, you can't have a, you know what I'm saying, a pig and slap a, you know what I'm saying, cow sign on it and think that you're gonna get milk. No, that's not the case. So
right.
You know what I'm saying? With that being said, I respect what Freezy is saying. So you can't continue to say, oh, I'm rebuilding if you continue to do the same things like bring in old vets and trade away all the new players and stuff.
Right,
so
right.
In a mindset, like Freezy said, you have to have the mindset from the top down approach. This is how we're rebuilding. And I really believe, like OG just said, we are in the groundworks of rebuilding. No, we are not truly at a tier where we got walls up. But no, we have started to pour the foundation. Now we are pouring the foundation. We excavated. We done, you know what I'm saying? We put up the walls. Now we pouring concrete. Now you have to start to build on the concrete. So again, you saying that, oh, we ain't got no rebuild. This is the first day. So like we just walked onto the site. No, the site has been being developed. We just had some janky promoters out here. We had some janky promoters talking about they was going to, you know what I'm saying? They knew what they was doing. They was going to bring some cats in here and they was going to put up walls in 4 days and get some Amish cats and some, you know what I'm saying, some Mexicans and some Jamaicans and go down through there. No, y'all brought in some cats who didn't want to work, who don't know they left from right. So again, I believe we are in a place where we are rebuilding, but we are in the first stages of rebuilding.
So, hey,
we are.
Hey, Joe, I'm gonna just say this thing just real quick. So what I'm saying to Chuck is the rebuild is not a roster rebuild; it's an organizational rebuild, right? So the owner knows. Say you fire your strength and conditioning coach. That don't mean the rebuild start all over. You know what I'm saying? That just means you continue on. Say you fire your shooting coach. That don't mean a rebuild start all over. You know what I'm saying? That all that means is you just replace the guy. I think what I'm saying is an organization has to take an organizational approach to a rebuild, right? Rebuilding means rebuilding means we're gonna move some of these pieces that we had before that was unsuccessful, right? Put a structure in place, which is actually the rebuilding process. Putting a structure in place, moving the old structure out the way, putting a new structure in place, and then putting in pieces. Everybody is a piece. The coach is a piece. The player is a piece. Everybody is a piece in the rebuild, and you have to be in that mindset. And I understand where you going with the KP thing, but how do you say KP was the start of the rebuild when you're running out cats like Courtney Lee?
It don't matter.
Courtney Lee was when you got Joakim Noah's still on your roster. You know what I'm saying? Kyle Quinn's. You know what I mean? It's one of them deals where we got to look at it with some perspective and not just laser focus.
He was the first piece that you drafted to build around. That was your starting point was there. Let me ask you this: if all right, the 70-win Warriors team, right? You got that roster set. Now you fire Kerr and you bring on a whole new regime and a whole new system. Is that a rebuild? You got the same players, the whole same roster. Is that a rebuild?
No.
That's what I'm saying. So it's based around the players.
And what me and you were talking about is we just disagree on philosophy.
Right. Understand.
He said a rebuild is just players. I think a rebuild is an organizational reshuffling. It's a complete. You tear away the old way of thinking, and you come in with a complete mindset, building something new. Is the way that I think about it.
Yeah, I look at it as like construction way. It's like you buy an old house, you're rebuilding it by knocking the old house down and rebuilding it. So as my
that's
boy
a
Prince
clear
said,
construction of rebuild. Like Freezy talking about, like you said, from an understanding of the whole top-down approach. OG talking about, like you said, just taking out a wall, swapping a new wall in. So again, like you said, both of them talking about in terms of the rebuild, but how do you look at the rebuild? Do you do it from a top-down approach, or do you do it where, like you said, you just change out windows, you put some new siding on, you know what I'm saying? You change the landscaping. All of those things. Freezy saying, no, you need to change the landlord, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a rebuild for Freezy.
To me, it's they knocked the house. They've already knocked the house. They've laid the foundation. They threw up the first 2 bricks, and that's RJ and Obi, and they're working from there.
If you replace Steve Kerr with Mike D'Antoni, the system's going to be different. That's not a rebuild. That's not a rebuild.
No, that's a system change.
Right.
If you changing the system, don't make it a rebuild or not rebuild. The team is already.
But I understand. But look at it in the context. Like, and I hope I ain't speaking for you, Freezy, but I understand what Freezy's saying. Is when you look at it in the context of, like you saying, rebuild and in the pack of changing a coach. We already changed players the last 2-3 seasons. This year, like I said, the contractor who was on the site was trash. The last 3 contractors we had were trash. So now we are changing out the contractor with a contractor who we know has built mansions and buildings and all of these things. You're not changing your architectural design with this new, you know what I'm saying, with this new contractor. You just asking him to say, hey, bro, this is what I have right here on site. Can you make this the beautifulest house that we want to see, you know what I'm saying, from what we have? And again, if that contractor, Tom Thibodeau, can do those things, you are still with the rebuild. You're still rebuilding the house. It's just a different contractor that's running the show now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, so let me shout out to the chat. Hey, shout out to the chat. Hey man, the conversation. So we have like 3 conversations going, like 1 on the video chat and 2 in the virtual chat. Shout out to my co-pilot, Stephen Fox. Stephen Fox ain't even shout me out yet. What kind of co-pilot is that, Stephen Fox? But anyways, I just want to say, subscribe to the channel, smash the like button on the live stream. Make sure you click the bell for notifications. Make sure that you comment in the comment box and share on social media. The conversations like this would be so dope, man. We could talk about this stuff for hours and hours. You know what I mean? But I wanted to talk to Chuck about trying to get away from the rebuild, and talk about the first point. So the point in front of the rebuild point was Dennis Smith Jr. Right? Because the rumor is that Legion of Knicks podcast, aka that MF of Doom, aka the Ghostface Killer, bashed Dennis Smith Jr. last night. And I heard part of that. And I ain't gonna lie to you, part of it I agree with, part of it I don't. Right? Like I legit, part of it is redlining on Dennis Smith Jr. and part of it is true. Right? So here's my thing with the parts that are true for Dennis Smith Jr. So my man's I guess basketball IQ is what I'll call it. Just to encompass a lot of stuff. Is not really there. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the stuff that he does, you would expect him or want him to do better. Like getting open shots for others, getting his own shot off. I'd like to see him shoot more. Right? That's my knock with Dennis Smith Jr. right now. I don't want him to be a floor general, because that's not in his archetype. Like his build is not one that's going to be a floor general. At least I don't see it project that way. I think he should use his physical skills to dominate other NBA players. Right. My thing is, and where I think he's lacking, is attacking the basket and getting to the free throw line. That's what I think he should do. Now I know he's not a good free throw shooter, right? But getting to the line and attacking the basket is just not a one-way street. It's not just about free throws. It's also about the defenders accumulating personal fouls and team fouls, right? That's one of the things I think he should work on. Against Cleveland, against smaller guards, I expect him to be more physical with Darius Garland, be more physical with Colin Sexton, and show the league that he can be a dominant NBA player by using his physicality. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the 3-point shooting, I think that's going to come because his shot looks a lot better. The assist part of it, until we can get teams out of the 2-3 zone, the tally, the actual metrics won't be there, because if teams zone up against us, scorers will score off the second and third pass. Like if Dennis Smith Jr. passes to Mitch and Mitch kicks out to Knox in the corner for 3 and he makes it, Mitch gets the assist, not DSJ. You know what I'm saying? So part of that will be it won't show up on the stat sheet. I just think DSJ needs to be more aggressive. What do you think, Chuck?
I had him slated before the season started for 15-6. I'm gonna pull back on that and go like 9-4 because RJ's a nut, so he's not going to get the opportunity because RJ's gonna he's going nut. He's going nut. He's trying to average 25 this year for some reason, and it's taken from Randle already. So I think it's best for Dennis Smith to get traded because he don't fit with this style of play. I'd rather see quickly at this point.
What?
Right. Well, can I get some burn, Freezy? Freezy, can I get some burn?
You can have it. I'm speechless.
Well, I'm a piggyback off you, Freezy. I like watching, Todd Thibodeau, watching his.
I can't believe what I just heard. But go ahead, Bob.
Hey, but I feel like you, Freezy. I really believe that Dennis Smith is not like that wizard with the basketball. Like, what I'm saying? He's not gonna give you those Steve Nash, those Steve Nash vibes. But like you said, his physical prowess of a physical specimen at point guard, watching Tom Thibodeau's offense, if and when we start putting those sets in, if he can do what other point guards did for Tom Thibodeau, and that's break down one-on-one, defenders at the top, get into the paint and dish the ball or swing the ball, that's the best, the best type of offense that we can see from Dennis Smith Jr. So like you saying, I really feel what you're saying. I don't believe he's that type of point guard. If he's not playing, downhill basketball, he's not successful. And I don't believe him waiting out, on the wing with the ball, waiting on action. That's just not him. It's just not, as we can see, he doesn't look good in it. He's stagnant, the offensive stagnant with him running it like that. So much like you said, until either we implement an offense where he can just go downhill, like I said, I don't really see where, where he fits in offensively to really help us go. It's just right now, you're right, Freezy. I don't see it, bro.
Yeah, first of all, I'm hey man, Chuck, go ahead, man. I ain't got nothing else to say. I ain't never seen Chuck back up off his words before, so I don't know what to say.
Well, it's still early enough for me to back off, and with RJ taking the role he's taking and taking the most shots on the team, my prediction of 30 wins is I'm taking 5 off of that. So now I'm going 25 wins.
Wow.
I'm going 25 wins with RJ as the main piece. My 30 wins was based on Randle as the main piece, but it seemed like RJ is taking over. You know what I'm saying? And I don't trust his offense enough to go with 30 wins.
Wow.
His shooting. No, I don't. And to me, he forced a lot of shots. I don't want him as my first option. So I'm going 25 wins and trade Dennis Smith so he could go and get his 15 somewhere else because RJ's a nut.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Breezy over here can't even talk. He don't even know what to say.
Right, because this is the first time since I know Chuck. I've been legit. I've been chopping it up with Chuck for about 4 years, and this is the first time I ever heard the backup alarm come on. Ever. This is the first time I heard the beep, beep, beep for Chuck and his words. Oh my God, man.
It's early enough. The season ain't started yet. It's early enough.
Hey, somewhere, Legion of Knicks podcast is smiling. Somewhere, Legion of Knicks podcast, a.k.a. that MF of Doom, a.k.a. the Ghostface Killer, is smiling.
No,
boy.
No,
man. So what are we gonna do tonight then? Y'all not so y'all not going 10 championship rounds tonight? So I gotta get somebody else.
Oh, we don't play tonight, right? We play tomorrow.
I'm talking about you and Legion of Knicks podcast.
Oh.
I thought y'all was gonna face off about DSJ, but now y'all not. So okay.
Well, I came on this morning for him.
Oh well. My man said he had to make a living, so okay.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I worked last night, so when I got off this morning at 6:30, I started watching the video, and I said, "Oh no,
Yeah.
So I was looking for him. I signed in before the show started. I was in the bushes. I was waiting to see his name. I was waiting to see his name pop up. I was about to pick him off.
You just gonna ambush him?
Yeah. So I was waiting for it. I was waiting for him. Man. Rob the Knick.
Yeah. Hey, so Rob the Knick told me last night, and he argued me down. It was about 2:30 in the morning. He argued me down about trading Ricky Rubio, trading Julius Randle for Ricky Rubio. I mean, trading Randle and something for Rubio, right? And I know you're gonna agree with them, but I'm gonna just say anyway. I don't see why you would trade for a Ricky Rubio, trade Julius Randle, who's 20, 25, 26, and is 20 and 10, for a guy that can't even start for his own team. You know what I'm saying? I know the point guard position. There's a dearth of talent at the point guard position, but at some point you got to stop overvaluing other teams' players. Stop being LOL Knicks and stop devaluing your players, and stop overvaluing other teams' players. You just can't do that and be successful. I got argued down last night. What's your takes on that?
I would have to look at Rubio's age first, which I don't. Okay, let me see.
I think it's 30. I think he's 30.
Oh no, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. He has to be closer to. He got to have at least a good 6 years left.
Right.
Because we need that point guard that's going to grow with Obi in them.
Right.
You don't just want somebody for 1 or 2 years. Then you still looking for a point guard all over again. So if you're giving up an asset like that, you want to go younger than 30, or 27-ish, somewhere around there. That's why Schroeder would have been perfect. And I would have gave up Randle for Schroeder.
And we could have gave up less.
We could have gave up
less.
The Lakers gave up less. Yeah.
Right.
I think Danny Green, right? Wasn't it Danny Green?
Right, Danny Green and the 27 pick, or Danny Green and the 29 pick for Schroeder.
Yeah. See, yeah. That.
And we could have legit got Dennis Schroeder because I think we had a late first round pick. We could have gave up a late first round pick and a late first round pick. We could have gave up a late first round pick and a player like just name random young kid player. You know what I'm saying? We could have gave up the 20 something pick and Reggie Bullock and got Dennis Schroeder because they just wanted to dump his salary and get a draft pick. That's all they wanted, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm telling you the front office made some shaky moves this offseason. When point guards were flying around like frisbees, we didn't catch us one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I understand they like Quickly. I like Quickly also, right? But the thing about Quickly is this. I don't think he's ready yet. You know what I'm saying? I think Quickly is more of a in 2 to 3 years he'll be a solid contributor. This year, right? You can't expect him to do anything in this COVID shortened season, right? Whatever we get from him is gravy. But next year we could probably expect him to kind of maybe give us 8 or 9 points, maybe a couple of assists, some good defense or whatever. You know, and I know those numbers sound low, but you want to temper expectations because we don't know what we have exactly. We just want hoping that he can develop under Johnny Bryant and them.
I would give up Randle for Ball. If Ball was available, I would try to pry him away. I would give a Randle for him.
For Lonzo.
Yeah. Yeah. They drafted Carol Lewis.
Right.
And I think they got another point. I forgot who else they had. I think they got another point guard.
I would say the Lonzo for Julius thing maybe a stretch in my opinion. I just what has Lonzo Ball shown everybody for him to be the point guard of the future with the Knicks?
I think his passing ability. He can make, and the thing is, he's young, so it's not like he's a 12-7 guy that is like 28, 29 years old. He's 22, I believe. So he still has room to grow. And you put him beside like RJ, I think him and RJ will work very well together. But yet it's a stretch. You don't know what he can turn into, but he can turn into something. He can be special. He can be special playmaking. And then his three is starting to come along. Like I think he shot like 38% last year from three. But my only issue with him is his free throws. He shot he shot below 60% last year from the free throw line, and so did RJ. And then his ability, I think, to get into the paint is a little bit questionable. But I think he can get there, especially when we have a young development staff too, that they can help him grow either. But the thing is, I wouldn't trade for him because he's going to be a restricted free agent next year. If you throw like $12 million at him next year, I don't think the Pelicans will match because they just paid Ingram. They have to pay Zion. They just drafted Kira Lewis, so they wouldn't want to pay him that much money. So if we give him like 12. Like, was it 3 years, $12 million a year? I think that could get us here.
I believe they do have something up their sleeve. I don't, like you were saying, Freezy, earlier, I can't believe that they let so many point guards fly off the charts and go to other teams and not have a clear understanding of what they want to do for point guard. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why, like, I asked a couple people that before about the Obi pick. Was the Obi pick like a homeboy hookup, or was Obi the best pick for us? Because like as we are still trying to figure out in our brains, like why don't we have a franchise point guard? Like you know what I'm saying? Where
I think they went Obi because Obi was clearly the best player available. So they went best available and more of a safe pick than they would have gone. Like Halliburton and some of these point guards were nice, but I don't think none of them were worth the 8th pick. If they traded back to like 10 or 12, then I'd see them taking a point guard. But at 8, I think Obi was the best available, especially when he was expected to go in the top 5.
Right.
So the fact that he fell to 8, was it a chance that we could have took a chance to maybe pick him up at 10 or 12 and pick up, you know what I'm saying, get an extra pick or two so we could have ended up with a like you said, the point guard and Obi. That was my thing. You know what I'm saying? We did it, but remember we traded away the Clippers pick and then our late pick. So like we basically did the same thing, but couldn't we have just traded back and I think still maybe ended up with Obi and still picked up like a Theo Maledon or you know what I'm saying, one of those other point guards?
Well, they could have because at the 20 when they traded up for that 23rd pick, they traded that up so they had something to trade to Cleveland in case they had to move up for Obi. But since that Obi fell to them at 8, they moved back to 25. They still could have got Malachi Flynn. They still could have got Tyrell Terry. They still could have got a nice point guard, but they opted to go with quickly. I believe
Sorry to cut you off, Joe. Well, shoot, I was gonna say they didn't even pick up the golden boy, the other point guard from overseas. What's his name? Who came with LaMelo? You know, who went overseas with LaMelo?
Oh, RJ Hampton.
RJ Hampton. Like I said, you're right.
I have a theory about that. I have a theory that they could have took RJ Hampton at 23, but they thought, okay, we could trade back, get another pick, and get him at 25. They got cute with it.
I think so too.
I
could see that. I could see that.
Your mic is off.
You on mute, Joe?
Yeah, you can't hear.
Yeah, you on mute. We can't hear you, bro.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Yeah, you good. Yeah, you good.
The man, the myth, the lie in the chat.
Hey, Ron Cleveland. Hey, Ron Cleveland. Yeah, Ron in the chat. I just wanted to tell him he did a good job last night. Hey, good job, boss. Hey, y'all did great last night. My only deal is sometimes when Chuck B come on, folks don't really want to come on in the video thing with Chuck B. You know what I'm saying? It ain't because Chuck B ain't a great, you know what I'm saying, ain't great in the thing. Sometimes I believe that Chuck B put the Timmy on some people. And it's hard. You like you can't undo stuff that's seen. Like I legit Chuck do have good points, but his Dennis Smith Jr. thing just shocked the world. I can't believe I heard my man back up on his words. And I'm hoping it's because Legion of Knicks podcast didn't put the Timmy on Chuck.
No, it's based on RJ. I think RJ is he's gonna shoot way more than he did last year, and Dennis Smith ain't gonna get the opportunities.
Yeah. I think the problem with Dennis Smith too is people don't realize the lack of spacing. Like he's an athletic guard that needs to get into the paint. We don't have the spacing for it.
Right.
I think
It's getting better. It's getting better. It's getting better.
Yeah. He showed improvement than last year. The main thing that sticks out to me, and I think there's hope, is his defense. His defense looks very good. Looks very good.
Right.
So he
looks fluid. DFJ looks fluid.
Yeah. The only thing to me is he looks a little bit out of shape.
Yeah.
He doesn't, not like out of shape, but he doesn't look in NBA minute shape. That's why I think, and that's why he hasn't been starting. I believe that they're trying to get him into the starting position, but he just needs. The problem too is nobody's setting screens for him. He's up there in his own. You have nobody in the team is up pulling up, setting screens, and a point guard needs screens to work around, especially when you're a point guard that needs to get into the paint to be effective.
And I mean, I know I was listening to Who's Mark say that he's seen sets, and I seen like offensive motions. I'm not gonna say I've seen offensive sets, but I've seen offensive motions. And I don't really believe Tom Thibodeau has truly put in offensive sets, y'all. I believe he's teaching like you said, spacing, where we should be on the floor, how we should move on the floor. But I don't believe he's put in a full offensive package. I don't believe we've seen no true offense from Tom Thibodeau yet. And I'm not saying that like the, Fizdale talk, but I'm just saying we know Thibodeau. He said, I ain't worried about offense. We got to learn rotations. We got to learn how to play defense. We got to, understand our defense. So I think that's what Tom is more worried about, them guys honing in on and truly.
That's a great point. Hey, Prince, before we move on from that point that you made, because I think it's an excellent point, right? The fact that you're saying that Thibodeau may not have implemented or doesn't want to show his hand on offense, to me is something that we probably need to talk about. I mean, it didn't even dawn on me that, because I saw the 2-3 zone, and what the alarms went off immediately that teams are not going to let the Knicks throw lobs all night, right? They legit are kind of seeing lobs, so they go to the 2-3 zone, pack the paint. Mitch is not getting lobs, and you can see all the deflections from the first two games. Like, we throw lobs, and the Pistons are like all over it. But they give us the 3-point shot, and we can't, and we're not knocking down 3-pointers enough to get them out of the zone. So why get out the zone? Oh, go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, I believe we're going to see a lot of zone. Teams are going to just play zone and us and be like, all right, guys, they're going to clog the paint, or they're going to guard the paint and make the Knicks shoot from the outside. And that's why I believe we're going to struggle. Because teams know that. Inside the paint, the Knicks, if you give the Knicks the paint, the Knicks are probably one of the best teams in the NBA for scoring inside the paint. When you have Obi, Randle, Noel, Mitch, then you have guards like DSJ can score in the paint. Peyton's decent in scoring in the paint. But teams are just going to guard that paint and be like, all right, Knicks, shoot from the outside. That's what we're going to see. And they know we're lacking shooting. The only true shooter in the starting lineup is Burks.
Right.
Well, let me.
You know what though? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chuck.
Let me address Legion real quick, because he asked about DSJ. Right, Legion. I said DSJ was going to do 15 and 6. I changed it to 9 and 4 because RJ's a nut, and he's not going to get his shots off. Plus, the spacing is bad with these bad shooters. So I backed off for the 15 and 6 and dropped it to 9 and 4.
I go higher. I go to 12 and 5. It'd be what I'd be looking at for DSJ.
He ain't gonna get 12 with RJ. He's not gonna get 12 with RJ. RJ's gonna hog the ball. So,
well, RJ to me, it'd be a good. I'd like to see RJ have the ball in his hands and facilitate, and have another point guard on the team that'll shoot threes. I want to see RJ run the offense, at least in the next 2 games against Cleveland before the regular season starts.
If RJ run the offense, we definitely getting K to Suggs.
Yeah, because RJ's not a point guard. He's not a facilitator. And they were saying on Nothing to Knicks, I brought it up on Nothing to Knicks yesterday, and they were telling me that I was downplaying the point guard position. I was like, I'm not downplaying it. The problem is we don't have one.
Basically, you're saying I'll be optimistic if I had one to choose from.
Yeah. Saying it's like, and I'm not saying DSJ is not a point guard. Just DSJ needs to learn a little bit more, because when he played in college, it was give the ball to DSJ, let him run into the paint. Now in the NBA, teams are coming up. They see him coming up, and they're coming up high to the halfway line and double teaming him or blocking him from making any movement towards the paint. And that's where the spacing comes in, because when you have Randle, Noel, RJ, and Peyton. That's 4 out of the starting 5 that can't shoot.
Right.
So that's the way they're gonna be like, all right, let's clog up this paint, and that's where Cement needs the spacing. If we get shooters, like that's what that Buddy Hield trade to me is interesting, and I would do it because I believe Buddy Hield, he can drop 20 a night, and he'll give you that spacing. Because we need the spacing desperately.
We still need a facilitator. You still need a facilitator to get him the ball. Like you still got to get him the ball.
Chuck B, somebody coming for your throat. I'm gonna just go ahead and get my man in here. But while he get ready, I'm going to address Legion of Knicks podcast. Legion of Knicks.
Man.
Hey, this is our guy right here.
What's good, Ron?
Ron Cleveland. Tip of the cap.
What's up, fellas?
Tip the hat to it.
What's up?
Yeah.
Hey,
what's up, boss?
You was lying last night. You was lying on DSJ last night.
What I said?
He said, what I say?
Tell me what I said. I talked about a lot last night. I ain't running. I ain't never ran from a fight.
I don't remember word for word, but I
see. Well, no, don't do that. Don't say I'm lying, and you can't say word for word what I said. Now you go get your receipts, and you come back, and I'll tell you what I said. Come on.
Okay, one of y'all said y'all rather see Frank facilitate than DSJ. Was that you?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
I don't use the word facilitate. If you notice, when I talk about Frank or talk about them guys, you hardly ever hear that word come out my mouth. I don't say facilitate.
Okay, that was Rob.
Probably was. See, you keep getting me confused with Rob. I can't remember who said it, but you get Rob and Ron.
No. Y'all all took turns dissing them.
I'm gonna tell you. Did you hear what I said about DSJ?
All right.
Did you hear what I said? What I said? I didn't want to see no more of DSJ. I've seen enough of that.
Yeah.
Did you hear when I said that?
Yep.
Okay. So why would I go and say I want to see him facilitate if I say that I've had enough of seeing him? That experiment is over with.
All right. So I'm mad at that then.
But Ron, I wouldn't say that experiment's over. You got to give the kids spacing.
Nah, it's over with, man. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but like I said, the plane is on the tarmac in LaGuardia. It's gassed up. The engine's running. The tickets are out there. We just gonna find out who's gonna be on that plane. So because I feel like there's gonna be some players gone, man. There's no way in the world Tibbs is gonna go with this roster. Not the whole season.
After 2 games, it's over for DSJ. After 2 games,
ain't just the 2 games, man. And you know, for me, I've cleared the slate. But of course, with coaches can say, yeah, it's a clean slate, but they look at the tapes too, and tapes don't lie, man. It's a reason why Carlisle got him up out of Dallas, man.
Luka.
And not just Luka.
Yes, it was.
I don't think it was just. Of course, it was. I mean, if you got a chance to play Luka or him, that's a no-brainer. But it's something between the ears with DSJ, man. No, I don't think it's. We might not be the team for him. And realistically, like everybody talks about, when you come to New York, it's caused a lot of people to change their games once they've got here. You know what I mean? They don't play the same, and we know that. Everybody can't handle them bright lights, man.
All right, look, Luka needs the ball, right? Luka needs the ball in his hands. DSJ needed the ball in his hands, so DSJ had to go. Now RJ became a ball hog, so he's taking. So it's the same thing with Luka. It's the same thing all over again.
But you know what, Chuck? I'm gonna tell you, and I said it last night, man. DSJ, and not just DSJ. You know, a lot of these guys, man, it's a cautionary tale about leaving school early. You know, you need to perfect your craft before you make that jump. A lot of guys come in the league, man, on athletic ability, and they ain't really learn their position. I hear something in the back. Oh, that's the guy. But yeah, you know, a lot of guys don't learn their craft, man, and they come in the league, and then next thing you know, they fizzle out.
I agree.
You know, and that's why I love Obi, and I think the league, Obi is going to usher in an era where people are going to start trying to go after players that's been in college for a while. Because I remember the first practice, I look at the kid, man, practicing with Randle, and I was like, man, I said, this dude looks like he been doing this a while. And it's apparent in his game, but DSJ should have stayed in college longer, man. He should have stayed in college longer. He didn't learn how to play the point guard position fully.
I agree, because I remember watching, I wasn't around in the 80s and 90s, but watching and hearing guys talk about back in the day. Didn't a lot of these guys like Jordan and all of them do at least 2 to 3 years of college before coming out of the draft? and were
Yeah,
more
it was a lot
polished.
more 2 or 3 years, man. And I'll say this, and Chuck knows this because you've watched the game a long time. A lot of the guys that were making that leap, it was obvious that they were going to be the guy. It wasn't no question when these guys made the leap. But nowadays, a lot of these guys, man, is jumping in the league of athletic ability, man, and a lot of them are flaming out.
Yeah, I agree. I
mean, if
agree.
you look at DSJ's talent, anybody look at it, and you'd be like, man, this guy here, if he puts it together. But the problem is too, where you at?
Right.
Where you at? Trying to put it together. Where
Well,
I think for him, same thing I'm gonna say about Kevin Knox. And I got on Kev last night. You watched the show, Chuck. You saw me getting on Kev last night about this. But his boy Kevin Knox. Some players practice players that practice good. And do we think that Kevin Knox might be one of them players that practice good and then it don't translate to the game?
I can't say I'm practicing good.
Well,
But you,
Tibbs said he's been doing very good.
Chuck, you remember that movie, that Denzel movie back in the day, John Q? Remember John Q stuck up the hospital?
It's hard.
Mhm.
The son's hard. The son's
Yeah.
hard.
Right. That's what I think got to happen for Kevin Knox. We need John Q to stick up a hospital to get Kevin Knox a heart transplant. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think it boiled down to. And I know people get on me and say,
cracking
"Hey,
up last night. What he said he said something about to the effect of like the Wizard of Oz, and he started describing all them guys character in the Wizard of Oz, man, and I was rolling. He did a good job, man, and that narrative he gave about our players, man. But everybody know the one position that's holding us back is the point guard, and just like I was telling, hey, Chuck, you know how I feel about Frank. Everybody know Ron Cleveland loved Frank. But I can't sit here and defend you when you ain't playing good. I'm gonna have to call it like I see it, man. And Kev, I must admit, he loved Kevin Knox to the point that he can't take it when nobody else talk about Kevin Knox. But it's the truth. It's the truth, man, and not being negative or nothing about it, man. But we all know at the end of the day, man, it's all about this thing behind us, man, more so than the players. And if the players pop, this thing behind us gonna jump off. You know what I mean? And we all gonna be the better for it, but we gotta be realistic, man. We gotta be realistic, and these guys are on 1-year deals. Ain't nobody safe. Ain't nobody safe on this roster, man. And this is one time, think about it, that we got a front office and a head coach in lockstep. And I say everybody thinking, okay, well, Tibbs ain't the president, we know that. But if Tibbs go to Leon and say, hey, Leon, this guy here ain't working out, what you think gonna happen?
Leon gonna move him.
Exactly. He gonna trust Tibbs' vision.
Ron, I have a question for you. How long do you give it before you think the Knicks should start cleaning house with these young guys? Because that's the thing in my mind. It's like you have all these young guys and you're trying to get them developed. But next year's draft, we have 4 more draft picks coming in. So we have replacements coming in for them kids. So when do you think? Do you give it to the end of the year or do you give it to the deadline? Because I'm thinking that
before the season start, don't let the other team see no more. Trade on Wally value is what it is right now.
You know what?
The thing is, do they have value? That's the thing. Because I think they're going to keep paying DSJ to get value. Because I believe they tried trading him during the offseason and during the draft to try and move up. But no one wanted him. It was like he had no trade value. So that's why I think they're using him now to get some value so they can get at least a 2nd round pick out of him or some other player out of him before his contract is up. And I think the same is going to go with Frank. Knox, I think, has another year of his contract, but this year is a team option. The Knicks don't have to pick up his deal this year either.
But the thing is, to answer your question, I think you can't go with them long if you don't see some kind of glimmer of hope that, hey, they might be starting to get it. But the thing is, I kind of agree with Chuck, man. If not, you might have to go no more than maybe. I'm gonna have to cut that 20 games to 10 games.
Yeah, Because that's
because you don't want to give too much of a sample size of what they can't do.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Preseason, we all can say, hey, yeah, it's preseason, and that's a lot of trying to figure out who your lineups is, who your best players to put together. But you don't want to go no more than 10 games if these guys, whoever they decide they're going to move, is still struggling 20 games into the season. Then to other teams, they'd be like, well, why should I even take this guy?
And as I
now
said,
you got to throw in a draft pick to get him out of here.
And as I said to you yesterday, Ron, I was like, if we give them 20 games and we go 3-17, then the season's over. No matter what trade you make, you're not going to make the season's done at 3. If in the first 20 games you go 3-17 or 4-16, it's done. It's over.
Well, you trade for the future. So whatever you trade for, So.
Hey, Chuck, we ain't get a chance to talk about it, man. But I tell you what, you know who impressed me the other night, man?
Who that?
Burks.
Yeah,
Burks is nice. He's nice.
Be our starter. He's going to be our starter.
He has to be. He's the only shooter we got.
Only.
You know what, though? I was just gonna say, man, it's still early now. You know, Burks and these cats don't have rust on them because they played in the bubble. You know what I'm saying? So they automatically are gonna look better than our kids who hadn't played in 9 months. You know, so that's the reason why Nerlens Noel looks better than Mitchell Robinson right now. It's not because Nerlens is a better player.
Yes, he is.
Oh, go ahead, man.
But I tell you this though, Freezy, man, I can't 100% agree with that, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I think, but when I played ball, man, one thing about a shooter, and Chuck, you guys, you know this, when you play ball, a shooter can shoot. I don't care if you get 80 years old. A shooter can shoot. I don't care if they had played basketball. Like, I guarantee you right now, I haven't played basketball probably in about 2 or 3 years, but I can go out there, and I guarantee you, if I sit out there and I'm just shooting, I'm going to make a lot of my shots, man. But these guys are getting paid to play the game of basketball. You know what I mean? You ain't just playing around home. You that's your job. And for 9 months, you still got a job to do. You got to prepare for the upcoming season. And I'm not going to give them guys a pass, even more so when it comes to that aspect, because you had 9 months to prepare. The only pass I'm giving them on is that you're in a new system with a new coach, and you're trying to learn the new system. That's it. But your abilities,
but
the same abilities that got you to the league, you should be displaying that right now.
But the thing about that though is I understand what you're saying because you talk about from a skill factor, right? But what I'm saying is no matter how much conditioning you do in a gym, there is no substitute for game action. You know what I mean? So I agree with you with the skill thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. You know what I'm saying? But to me, there is no substitute for live game action. You got to have some in order to be sharp. And the Knicks were in that Elite 8 group, and they didn't get that live game action. But some of the vets,
it could be something to that.
Yeah,
it could be something to that.
But listen, man, I'm a wrap up here, man, because man, I'm about to fall asleep on y'all. I don't want to do that on national TV.
Hey, don't do that, man.
Man. But listen, I appreciate y'all coming on tonight, though. Tonight, well, Chuck B said something to Legion of the Knicks podcast, and now he backed off, right? But I still believe I gotta fight with Legion of the Knicks about DSJ because he pumping Legion of Knicks podcast legit is pounding his chest about the DSJ argument, and then he brought up some kind of weird thing when he beat me in some kind of debate. I don't believe that's true. So Legion of the Knicks podcast, if you ain't got nothing to do later on tonight, man, maybe I can come on Legion of the Knicks podcast show if he coming on. And I'm a legit just come get his head about DSJ and bring it back to the Knicks at Night podcast. You know what I'm saying? And I know Legion of Knicks ain't listening right now, so his homeboy is gonna have to send word to him that Uncle Freezy gonna come get him about DSJ.
His start like 8, right? Like 8 o'clock.
I'm not for sure. I usually wait for the alert. So I'm sure if he coming on, if he gonna get on, you know, we'll get the alerts and all that stuff. If not, then I'll either see him tonight or tomorrow. Hey, man. Hey, shout out to the chat, man. I swear, I think we have the best chat group in the biz, the NBK fam, and and no shade, man, but man, the chat be like bussing. You know what I'm saying? The chat be bussing. You know what I'm saying? The chat be legit, staying engaged the whole time.
Oh yeah, they're knowledgeable too. They be on it, man. They be giving you them facts.
Yeah, they be hitting me, like the chat legit hit me up, like DMing me about sleep patterns. Freezy, you need to get some sleep. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff, man. They legit are engaged. Hey, y'all. And also, I want to see if we can get to 900 subscribers by the new year, which is around the corner. You know what I'm saying? We on pace. You know what I'm saying? We on pace for about 9:15, 9:20 or whatever. But I want to see if we can bust that open. Hey, and everybody in the chat, I didn't shout out everybody. We kind of jumped on and hit the ground running. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Y'all know I love y'all, man. And listen, I feel the love back from the way that y'all be hitting me up in the DMs and the comment sections, and even in the virtual chat. You know what I'm saying? I really feel that from y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Hey, Chuck B, you coming on tonight or what?
I work tonight. I'm off Friday.
Oh, you scared ass. Okay, never mind.
Friday and Saturday. Nah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, no doubt, man. We're gonna have to double team Legion of the Knicks podcast about DSJ. Maybe Saturday.
So what did he say about DSJ?
Everything. You was there.
Yeah, I know he. I guess my focus was more on Kevin last night. I think that's what it was, because I think it was more on Kevin, sticking on Kevin. Well, I know it was because Kevin was trying to downplay what Burks was doing, man, and I was like, nah, don't do that now, because I understand that shit, but don't downgrade what Burks doing, because that guy the other night was killing.
He legit downgrading success because his boy was not successful.
Exactly. That's what I told him, man. You got to take your feelings out of it, man. Hey, we all want everybody got their favorites on the team, but you got to call it like you see it, man. Like I told him, man, that ain't attractive, man. You got to call that thing the way you see it, man.
Yeah, man, that ain't no good look. That ain't no good look, man.
Yeah, I tell you, Frida, I was sitting there thinking about doing a video on this point guard situation, because that's the glaring need, man. Everybody keep talking about shooting, but if you ain't got no point guard, you ain't gonna be able to shoot.
Right. And you know
everybody they'll sit on your shooters because they know your point guard can't score.
Right. And I was gonna hit you up and see if you wanted to do like a joint video on that, just like voice over some tape. But when I look at the point guards, it ain't worth it. I ain't wasting my time. I ain't wasting your time either. You know what I'm saying? Maybe when we get a new point guard, maybe we could do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the fact these dudes are so ineffective, I don't know, man.
And I'm gonna tell you this before you go too, man. Reason why I feel like Tom Thibodeau gonna do something at that position. When I read that article yesterday in the New York Post,
right,
that I didn't know he had went to North Carolina for a few weeks after they did them workouts in New York, the OTAs they did. I didn't know he went and visited Dennis Smith Jr. and worked with him one-on-one.
Wow.
And that was after they had visited with Kyra Lewis.
Right.
So it's clear that they know that point guard position is a problem, because if that wasn't the case, they wouldn't have never took the visit with that kid Kyra Lewis. And so I'm thinking they're gonna make a move. We got the money, we got picks, and we got players we can move on expiring deals too. So
right, no doubt. All right, so I'm gonna get out of here, man, so I can get some sleep. Hey, man,
go ahead and get your rest, man.
Yo, this Knicks family this thing is crazy, man. I'm getting people like hitting me up out the blue, like, yo, Uncle Freezy, blah 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 blah. Yo, man, this thing is gonna be huge, man. Hey, and to our home field advantage, this is what I call the people in the chat, the whole community is our home field advantage. Hey, y'all keep this thing up and keep growing. This thing is for y'all. This thing ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? This ain't for Ron or for Chuck. This is for everybody. We all growing this thing together. You know what I'm saying? So eventually we want to do bigger and better things. Like one of these days, I'm going to be able to upgrade this whack ass camera I got. You know what I'm saying? And some other stuff. But anyways, man, I'll holler at y'all. I'll see y'all tonight, and everybody be peaceful, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, y'all be safe, man. Everybody in the chat, y'all be safe as well.
Peace, everybody.